Injured in an accident? You may be entitled to a bigger settlement, up to 3.5 times bigger. Your initial consultation is 100% free, and we don't get paid unless we win your case. No matter the accident, we are here to help. The advocates will fight for you because you deserve clarity, you deserve justice, you deserve guidance, you deserve an advocate. Contact us today.
This is the Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find the Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, the Monty Show, as always, presented by our good friends at The Advocates, theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. 24/7, 365. That's when you can find the advocates. When you need them, where you need them, how you need them. Is that on a cell phone? Is that on a video call? Is that in a hospital room? Is that at your office? Wherever, whenever, however, you can get the advocates 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. And the best part is you never have to reach in your pocket to get clear, risk-free advice. When you've been in an accident, the advocates know it's one of the worst days of your life. Focus on healing. Focus on getting back to the best version of yourself. Don't worry about paying a consultation fee. Don't worry about fighting the insurance companies. The advocates have your back at theadvocates.com. And tomorrow on the show, and I know we don't ask much of you guys other than to show up. Tomorrow we're going to ask you to hook it up on the old Venmo machine. We are partnering with the advocates to raise money for hungry kids. We have talked to our folks at the pantries and in the communities, and obviously we're all well aware of the struggle that people are having right now, losing their jobs, and the darkening of the cameras and stuff. We have obviously all been through this and heard about this, so we'll tell you a lot more tomorrow, but we need a pretty big push. The advocates are really trying to raise money as we head for Thanksgiving to help kids. So let's do it. Conundrum already on North Face today. Yeah, Jake, where is the Columbia vest? Right? I mean the Columbia vest just isn't doing the job anymore.
No, that's not true. It's just very warm. It's very warm. Extremely warm.
Breaking news. Okay. Afternoon, Joey.
Hey, y'all.
Good to see you. Travis, good to see you. Pixar mom, Dana's back. Dana, you never sent a DM to Jake. I mean, nope. James, Dana. I hope you understand, Dana, that you are a daily conversation on this show.
Hey, guys.
So there's some pressure to
at some point it would be good if you legitimized yourself to, cut James some slack. Only we all know that's never going to happen because you are actually James. Look, unless you can prove yourself otherwise.
Our good friend Oak State James takes a lot of Dana Pixar mom strays. He's just walking down the street getting his ankle shot off over you. I hope you understand that. I hope you understand that. Dana, always good to see you. Appreciate the hump day reference. Toot says he's in Chicago. What are you doing in Chicago? I miss my hometown. Pete Forte, you the man. TJ Beck, hello. Mike Smout, mama. Hit it. Do you want a close-up of the mustache today, Mike? I know how much you enjoyed that yesterday. No, you still can't see it. It looks like I farted on my upper lip, and so there's some brown there. You can't even, nothing.
What's the timeline for it to legitimize itself as if it's Dana? A couple weeks?
A mustache or the Dana? The mustache, if it's not here by Thanksgiving, it ain't going to be here. Right. We all know that it's dead on arrival. Who are we kidding? I mean, honest to God, I'm a 10-year-old boy in 4th grade. What are we talking about here? Passing cognitive tests and stuff that I called an IQ test. Like 7 Faces of Eve, Oak State James is right behind that craziness with Pixar mom. That's what I'm saying. Matt Ritson, hello. that close-up stank stash is nightmare fuel. I don't even try to kid. Yeah, I warned you guys. I have hair. It just does not grow in a cohesive, organized fashion.
It's not the best situation, and we all know that.
It's fine. Life jacket season.
Apparently. Why are you guys hating?
So you're just saying this one's not warm.
No, what I'm saying is this one is less warm. Like the Columbia one is, what was that?
My camera turned. Did you? Hello? What is my camera doing right now? Okay, where is the camera remote? Thank you. Can we stop? Maybe the camera's, maybe it's the camera. Maybe there is no Monty Ghost. North face for Jake is like 3 bears. It's just right. Okay.
I mean, whatever you guys say, man. Whatever you say.
Are you just on a tough run here because you started? So you guys know I've been on Ozempic for 3 months.
Zepbound.
Right? Zepbound. I said Ozempic. Why do I do that? I said Zepbound. I've been on Zepbound since August 2nd, September 2nd, October 2nd, November, almost 3 months. Doing quite well. 0 side effects. Jake's been on it for 12 hours. He's like, oh, dude, no side effects. I'm like, it's been 12 hours. Yeah, but I'm not shitting myself. Like, are you just expecting the worst?
Yeah, I'm prepared for the worst and hoping for the best. Yep.
Big Daddy Dallas, the haunted studio followed you to Washington. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. I listen, I don't know. I don't pretend to be somebody that. Do I believe in ghosts? Not necessarily. I mean, I don't not believe in ghosts, but I'm not all in on the ghost machine.
Right.
Jake, are you a believer? There it goes again.
There it goes again.
Like I can quite literally, this camera, and I don't have a picture of it, but this camera is in front of me, and it's a circular camera head that turns up, and let me go ahead and just put this back. There you go. Stop it. Assholes. Anyway, are you a believer in ghosts?
I mean, I don't know about ghosts in the traditional sense, but yeah, I mean, paranormal stuff. Yeah, I think there's unexplainable things that happen that we just don't know what it is. And whether that's a ghost or some kind of energy or something. I mean, the camera, we've been doing this show for a long time. We've been on this specific setup in terms of the equipment we're using for like 5 years now, 4 years, I think it is now or whatever. And the cameras have never done that, what it's doing. So I don't know.
There has definitely been some weirdness. There has definitely been a little bit of consternation, right? Brozempic, yes. The Conjuring, Seattle style, no. Have scary movies, has Halloween kind of turned into a horror show? It feels like the only thing we want at Halloween is like death and blood all over the walls.
Yeah, just a bunch of people dying and stuff.
Dale Donuts. What did you do, Ray? I don't want to, Ghosts will explain Mike Gundy still being a man. Could be.
Could be.
As a recovering Catholic, Monty, you should believe in demons, ghosts, and guilt, and not in that order. Not in that order at all.
In God's name, image, and likeness.
But speaking of demons, here on the Monty Show, this LSU situation, is LSU a good job? Just here we are on Wednesday. Is LSU a good job? Like, because this bite we're about to play from Jeff Landry, the governor of Louisiana, the governor of Louisiana today, speaking of conjuring, said some stuff that, I don't know. I could be wrong.
Family.
I don't think this helps the hiring process. I could be wrong.
I can tell you right now, Scott Woodward is not selecting the next coach. Hell, I'll let Donald Trump select it before I let him do it. I don't know, but the Board of Supervisors is going to come up with a committee, and they're going to go find us a coach.
Ooh, you're the governor. Cool. Great.
So what you're saying is Donnie's hiring Marjorie Taylor Greene to be the next head coach in LSU. All right, here's your new head coach, Kristi Noem.
Imika Egbegbo.
If Donnie was going to hire the coach, who would it be?
Nick Saban.
All right, Kash Patel, the new head coach.
Yeah. Right.
Our defensive coordinator will be Pete Hegseth.
And I'll see you in Valhalla.
Valhalla, brought to you by Valhalla Cruise Lines. Can you imagine if Donald Trump was making this hire, who would he hire? Who would Donald Trump hire to beat?
I don't know, bro. I can't imagine a world where the president of the United States is worried about hiring a college football coach. I don't know how we got here.
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't know what he's doing, but something Jeff Landry said today that did make a lot of sense.
You need to start looking at who represents all these people, like these agents. You know what's interesting? If I'm not mistaken, Woodard's agent,
Check
Kelly's
the sign
agent,
language guy.
the Texas A&M, they're all the same agent. Like,
No,
you
they don't
realize if
have
I
the
would
same
be,
agent.
I don't know how many sports writers we got here today?
A lot.
Just you. We should have a bunch.
21.
Okay? Like, this is ridiculous. Lawyers would be disbarred for the way these agents act and the way they're able to represent. In fact, there's no doubt, they may even represent some of the players now.
Dude, listen, I know that Jimmy makes a lot of money, dude. I get it, dude. Jimmy makes a lot of money. He makes more money than you do, and you're pissed off about it. That doesn't mean he's a bad agent.
Trust me when I tell you, as a long-suffering Notre Dame fan, Trace Armstrong represents Brian Kelly. They are not represented by the same agent. He's not wrong that I think coaching compensation is outrageous. I mean, the fact that they're paying Brian Kelly $800,000 a month not to coach at LSU. But this certainly cannot help make the LSU job more attractive. I mean, listen, I guess for certain people, it's a really attractive job.
Do you want to be the next LSU head coach?
Oh, I'd love to. You kidding me? Hey, I'm one phone call away. I just gotta get in my truck. I'll be back. I could be there today.
What?
I'm sure you would, dude. And so would your wannabe wife, girlfriend lady.
I want that job. I won't bring my girlfriend with me, boy.
I'm Ed O, and I'm a meathead.
Dude, he is salt of the earth. They're not, Ed. They're not hiring you. You can't tell me this helps the job. This is a bad look, and I'll play the bite again. I think this is a really bad look for LSU.
I can tell you right now, Scott Woodward is not selecting the next coach. Hell, I'll let Donald Trump select it before I let him do it. I don't know, but the Board of Supervisors is going to come up with a committee, and they're going to go find us a coach.
It is a really, really bad look for Scott Woodward to have the governor doing a press conference calling you incompetent. Because he said some stuff that Jake cut out of that bite about how this is the same guy that paid, $76 million at Texas A&M. And like this was wild that Landry said this. But Jake, this can't be good for their coaching search.
I would want nothing to do with it. Honestly, I would want nothing to do with it if I was one of these top candidates. If I'm any of the guys that have been mentioned, Dan Lanning, Lane.
Yeah.
Why the hell would you want to go there? Why would you want to, even talk to a guy like that? Why would you, what are we doing? Who thought it was a good idea to have the governor do a press conference where he's going to rip the AD and talk about our president. I just don't understand it. And I'm all here for ADs doing a bad job. We do that all the time on this show. But the idea that this guy thinks it's somehow a good plan, or that he's somehow holier than thou, like, dude, at some point you need to get back to governing the state instead of constantly worrying about these petty ass issues. And this is what our politicians do, man. They get involved in these non-issues because, with all due respect, we're not curing cancer here. We're not creating world peace. We're trying to hire a football coach for LSU. This is not rocket science, bro. And I'm here for, if you wanted to do an interview where you said, hey, like, we're only willing to pay so much, and like, after our conversation yesterday, hey, Dan, if it's all about the money and backing up a Brinks truck, you're probably not a fit for us. Okay, cool. I'm even fine with that. But this is just so far over the top, and I haven't even spoke on the accent or whatever language he's speaking. I mean, dude, just get out of the way and let the people handle it who need to handle it. And if you don't like those people, replace them instead of ripping them publicly. That's why I think it's such a bad look.
Well, and now Jeff Landry put himself in the jackpot because he said that Charlie Kirk should have a statue at LSU. He said that. He released a statement and a video. And this has not been a good day for LSU. Like, this has not been a good day for LSU. And mixing all this together, and you see the controversies that are reigning, like, I just cannot imagine this is a good thing.
So is LSU still the best job available after this? I mean, I think that's a real conversation if you're a candidate. If you're comparing LSU to Florida, dude.
I don't have any doubt it is. There is. Listen, he can run the Creole all he wants. I that doesn't bother me at all. The problem here is what you're saying is you don't understand college football.
Yeah.
And you're not willing to spend the money it takes to win at the highest levels. And no, I do not think this makes LSU second in the job market. I don't think there's any doubt LSU's the best available job. It doesn't help, though. It really does not help. And I think now, having said that, if you're Scott Woodward, didn't you just get fired in a press conference that you weren't a part of?
Yes. You just caught a massive stray, dude. You're not even in the building, and dude is torching you publicly.
You absolutely caught a massive stray here. And I think it's ridiculous to me. I look at this and I say to myself, I don't know how society has gotten here. Mama told Jeff Landry not to get a tattoo of Donald Trump, but what mama doesn't know can't hurt her. I mean, he done told some Boudreaux and Tebow jokes, right? Amazing. Trump would hire Tuberville. That's probably true. That's probably
what is he going to hire?
True.
Herschel Walker?
My God. Scoop. Embracing Kirk is toxic, but why is the governor of a state that is unaffiliated with Charlie Kirk releasing a video on campus at LSU saying put a statue up, and the entire university revolted against your statement, sir?
What now? Let me tell you what now. Cajun traditional gibberish. You're not that wrong.
Yeah.
Because Creole is tough to understand. He got that Cajun twang.
I mean, whatever we want to label it, it just would be nice if he, spoke normal English at a press conference.
I've got to go watch The Waterboy again to brush up on my whatever language they're speaking.
This is precisely what I'm talking about right here, bro.
So true. Toot says, Governor, I'm damn near sure that we's gonna get Dems best coach that we's can find. Or something like that. I mean, it is ridiculous.
I can tell you right now, Scott Woodward is not selecting the next coach. Hell, I'll let Donald Trump select it before I let him do it. I don't know, but the Board of Supervisors is going to come up with a committee, and they're going to go find us a coach.
Sign language dude. Wait. Watch what the sign language dude does when he says Trump.
I can tell you right now, Scott Woodward is not selecting the next coach. Hell, I'll let Donald Trump select it before I let him do it. I don't know, but the Board of Supervisors is going to come up with a committee, and they're going to go find us a coach.
Bro.
Right? I mean, come on. This is absolutely crazy to me.
I don't know, man. I'm very much on the fence about this.
This to me is just you trashing LSU. That's what I feel, honest to God. This feels like the governor of Louisiana had a press conference to tear down anything related to LSU and then released a video about Charlie Kirk's statue on a campus he's got no affiliation to. Like, what were you thinking? Was this destroy LSU Day in the State House of Louisiana? I mean, I don't know. I do not believe this impacts coaches making decisions.
Oh, come on. How does this not impact them at all?
You really think that Lane Kiffin's like, yeah, can't take the LSU job now?
I mean, it's not can't take it, but definitely am not jumping for joy over it after this.
Well, no, but it is LSU.
I mean, my God, you know, they're going to pay you a lot of money, I'm sure. But, dude, the moment you don't have success, are you not already out looking for another job? Like, I mean, that's what this says.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look. Yeah, this is exactly right. Probably smart with the last two coaches this AD hired.
Yeah, and again, I'm all here for the AD's ass. I have no problem with that. But let's not do it in front of the whole world. How about that? Like, let's not like this dude's out here talking about, you know, on his high horse and this and that and his gibberish and his, you know, on another planet accent. Like, dude, you're out here putting on a show and making a scene when all you could have done.
Really off put by this.
I am, because think about what it takes to get here, dude. You said, yeah, you know what? We're gonna have a press conference. I am so pissed about this Brian Kelly situation because that's the origin. He's upset about how much money Brian Kelly's buyout is. That's what he's pissed about.
$800 grand a month.
53 mil. So he's and again, I don't blame him for that. I'd be pissed too, but ultimately, it's how you handle it, because just the same way that people with the pedo state firing of James Franklin had questions about, hey, if you're willing to fire him in the middle of the season, what does that mean for the next head coach? Dude, if the governor's directly involved with the hiring of the coach at LSU, I'm sorry. I'm just not a huge fan of that, bro. Like, I'm not even saying just from an X's and O's football program level standpoint, it's not the best job. It is. But I'm just simply saying the politics and the noise and the drama and the baggage, this LSU and that athletic department did not need this. And at Nike money is not saving you from the governor being an asshole at a press conference.
No, what you needed was some offensive line help, right? That's what you needed. Because the amazing thing is, they won the portal of the offseason. This is how bad Brian Kelly's performance was this year. I don't think anybody would argue LSU probably had the best portal, but they did not address offensive line at all. And it absolutely crippled their offense. And their defense wasn't good either. But like, it just feels like this is the stuff where it's more about the recruit than it is about hiring a coach. I think this is a mountain for the coach to overcome. I think when you do the whole put a statue of Charlie Kirk on the campus, I think that's going to immediately turn some people off. It's toxic. It's a tough conversation no matter what side of the line you're on. I just don't know why you did that. And then you held a press conference to tell the world how stupid everybody at LSU is.
Because it's garbage.
It felt like an insult factory. That's what this whole thing felt like. And if you haven't seen it, go watch the entire presser, you guys. The rant he did about how bad this guy is, the AD's done hiring coaches and you know what, like Scott Woodward is not hiring the next coach. This guy, the last two, like just goes in on Scott Woodward. Like if you're Woodward, did you just go find a box to pack your stuff? Isn't that what you, we're out here. I mean, I don't even know what you say about this.
I can tell you right now, Scott Woodward is not selecting the next coach. Hell, I'll let Donald Trump select it before I let him do it.
Like that is unbelievable. Unbelievable that he is not selecting the next coach.
There's no way.
It's
like,
crazy.
Jesus.
I can tell you right now, Scott Woodward is not selecting the next coach. Hell, I'll let Donald Trump select it before I let him do it.
That is unbelievable. It certainly doesn't help, but I don't think this hurts. But my God.
Yeah, I just,
right?
I think at a minimum, I don't think we can say it doesn't hurt. I think what we should say is we don't know if it hurts or not. Because I think depending, like, does it hurt them? Well, I don't know. Who are you asking? I mean, if you're asking it doesn't hurt him, right? He just told us that the guy's desperate to get back in the college football world. But if you're trying to get Lane or Dan or Drinkwitz,
it's the Lane train, please.
Yeah, you know, if you're trying to get the Lanimal, you know,
the Lanimal. Don't let it hit your vocal cords when it's down there, okay? Like the Lanimal.
Might have been overstating the case a little bit.
The Lanimal.
Right off the top of the dome, dude. Some of my best material right there, dude. Come on.
Listen, and such as in
US like
American,
they don't have maps in Eugene and stuff.
Like the Lanimal. How devastated are you going to be when he misses the college football playoff? How devastated are you going to be? Are you going to have to like swaddle yourself to sleep or something? Like,
probably. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's going to be rough, dude.
You're such a slurper. Like that, you said Lanimal.
Sucking a ding dong.
Scoop says corruption in Louisiana is at the next level. Could be. They need Jerry Glanville. They do. Lane plus Lanimal. So Lane Kiffin.
My bad. Sorry, guys.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Lane train.
Right. Lane train.
Right. Like I just and not to mention, are you really this? And I understand why the governor is talking about this because it's $50 million.
A lot of money.
And who pays Brian Kelly the $50 million? Well, you know, the state. But I also think it's important to mention that they have a donor who is going to pay it. So it's not like it's still a lot of money. It is still a lot of money, and he makes $800,000 a month.
Damn.
I'm amazed by that. And obviously they're going to try and negotiate that down. But speaking of, I think it's really interesting here, by the way, on this thing with Arkansas. Speaking of about to pay a huge buyout, they're chasing the Lanimal and the Lincoln. I don't have an animal.
Riley-nator.
They're supposedly pursuing Dan Lanning and Lincoln Riley at Arkansas, and they are prepared to spend the money required, which would be the head coach, the coaching staff, and talent, because Arkansas has historically been diamond cutters when it comes to putting money out. And Jera obviously changes that. He's a billionaire. But it is said that they are chasing Dan Lanning and Lincoln Riley as their two top candidates at Arkansas, and that Bobby Petrino is unlikely to return They want new, bigger, and better. Where would you rate the Arkansas job amongst the great unwashed of college football openings?
I mean, it's obviously towards the bottom. I mean, I just think it's been
obviously towards the bottom.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, I think
Really?
that well, one, do you actually trust Jerry Jones to do what he says he's going to do? One, because of his mismanagement of the Cowboys. I don't know that I would trust Jerry Jones to do anything business related football wise. Two, I think they've never won in the CFP era. They've never even been relevant in the CFP era. So that's two. And three, it's the SEC. So, you're in the SEC, but you're also competing with, with all the other teams in the SEC for talent. And so if a kid can go to Arkansas, you can't tell me he's not capable, talent-wise, of going to other mid to upper tier schools. And that's where I say, like, if you get Lincoln in there, or if you were to get Dan, obviously they're really good recruiters. It goes without saying. But, it's a hell of a lot easier to get a kid to go to LA than it is to get a kid to go there.
Well, I would remind you, he got some pretty good kids to go to Norman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Lincoln did.
Yeah, he did.
You would agree with that?
No doubt. I would agree with that. Absolutely. He got a lot of talent to Lincoln. So I don't know, man. I think that I just there's no way it can be classified as a top job. Is it a good opportunity? Yes, but it's certainly not a top job.
I think I look at, if I'm making a list of this, and I look at the open jobs, LSU 1, Florida 2. And then I have to, like, okay, let's do it backwards. Where is James Franklin about the best candidate at? I think he's probably the best candidate at any of the second tier jobs. Because the thing I think that we quickly lose perspective on in these conversations is, and this is hard for me to say out loud, James Franklin and Brian Kelly, fired coaches. Those are two really good coaches. They've won a lot of games. Now, are they going to take you to a national championship? Probably not. But if you're UCLA, would you hire Brian Kelly or James Franklin? Yes. I think you would gleefully hire either one of those gentlemen to coach your football program. That would be a massive step up. Yeah. Would you agree with that at UCLA?
I would. Yep.
Would you agree that Stanford would gleefully hire Brian Kelly?
Yeah, I would. Absolutely.
I don't believe they would hire James Franklin with the issues in his background. I don't believe they would.
Yeah.
If you're Arkansas, if you are Virginia Tech, if you are,
those
neither one
certainly would.
Oak State has no access to Brian Kelly or James Franklin.
No,
I don't believe they do. But I think certainly Virginia Tech, Arkansas, and UCLA all have access to James Franklin and Brian Kelly. And I think Brian Kelly wants to take a year off. I think James Franklin wants to be coaching already. And if James Franklin can get to an SEC program, or if he can get hired in the Big Ten, I think he would take it right now.
Right.
I think he would take it right now.
Certainly.
And I think the little carousel, because I am going to continue to tell you this, and I know I read in the comments section on JitHub every day, you're the only one who's espousing the greatness of Eli Drinkwitz. Okay, I'll be the only one. What do you want to wager that Eli gets a job this cycle? What do you want to wager that he may well be the league candidate wherever Lane Kiffin doesn't take the job? Because Lane will get an offer at Florida and he will get an offer at LSU. And I think the other one is going to have to really take a serious look at hiring Eli Drinkwitz. How do you not, based on what he's done at Missouri?
Right. Yeah, you have to. You have to. I mean, and
right?
his age, and
his recruiting,
his talent. Yeah,
his
ability.
portaling, his putting guys in the NFL, his quarterback development, the attendance, the NIL money. It's Missouri. When have they ever been relevant? Right now. Right now. And I feel very, very strongly, based on the people that I'm talking to, Eli Drinkwitz is going to get a job. And again, I'm happy to be the only one, as I usually am, telling you this shit, but he's getting a job. And I truly think, because it does not appear, and maybe I'm underselling lead, it does not appear that Dan Lanning wants to leave Oregon this year. I think Dan Lanning wants to win another. If this job had come open last year, he would be at LSU right now. I think Dan Lanning wants to win another Big Ten championship at a minimum before he leaves Oregon. I think he feels like they have been, or at least I can't say I think. I was told that Dan Lanning feels a sense of responsibility to leave the program on a very high note. And he feels like they have not done their best work at Oregon this year, which I think we all agree with.
Mm-hmm.
When you get your ass beat like that. Now, if they go on to win the Big Ten championship, which could very well happen, beating Dan Lanning twice in the same season, Washington, is unheard of. I think there's a real chance for Dan Lanning to take a much larger job were he to win the Big Ten again this year. I don't know that happens, but I think Dan Lanning feels a sense of responsibility.
Yeah, well, I mean, after the ass kicking in the CFP, I mean, I can kind of understand why you would want to try to run it back before you leave that post.
Yeah, I feel like them winning the conference last year was the high water mark. I feel like they have stepped back from that level. And I think the hard part is next year, the jobs are not going to be nearly as good as this year. Projecting, right? Because if you project, you're going to have probably 4 SEC jobs open this year. At a minimum, LSU and Florida, Ole Miss, and Missouri. Those 4 jobs are probably open. And I think almost certainly are open. And then you throw in Arkansas. That's a minimum of 5. And I'm assuming Eli takes a job, and I'm assuming that Lane Kiffin takes a job. That's 5 universities right there that potentially could be open. So if you're supposedly the elite young, currently a head coach, because that's how Dan Lanning's viewed, I can tell you that right now. Most people believe Dan Lanning's the best young head coach in college football. I think that's a huge job. And then you throw on top of that, how many jobs in the Big 12 are going to be open? Well, I think certainly Oak State's open already. Dan Lanning's not ever going to even take a phone call from them. He's not taking a phone call from Baylor. Right? Utah's going to have a change, I think, but it's not going to be open because Morgan Scalley is there already.
Yeah, not this cycle.
I mean, you're looking at 4 or 5 jobs at a minimum in this conference because there's a lot of smoke around TCU. The folks in Fort Worth are severely disappointed. And I think that there's a real chance. I think Iowa State could be open. I think Kansas could be open. I think there's going to be a lot of movement in the Big 12. And then you look at the ACC. I think there's going to be some pretty significant movement in the ACC as well. And I think it'll be interesting to see Georgia Tech, if he takes a job, Vandy, if he takes a job.
Yeah.
Because I think Mike Norvell's a dead man walking.
Good as gone.
Yeah. And you're probably going to lose to Wake. Right? Like, is Georgia Tech a better job than, think of the lower level jobs in the Big Ten that could be open? Right? If Nebraska's open because Matt Rule goes to Pedo State.
Yes, you're taking Nebraska.
Who's taking Nebraska?
Anybody? Well, you were asking if it's a better job than Georgia Tech. I would take Nebraska.
I don't know about that. Does Nebraska have real opportunity to go to the college football playoff? Doesn't feel like that. And if Matt Rule goes knuckle deep, they're going to be a better football program. Right? What if Lincoln Riley leaves USC? That's immediately the best job in America. But Lane Kiffin's not taking the USC job. Right? He's not. Like the domino effect by all of this upheaval, if you will. I mean, you look at the Big 12, I think there will be 6 openings. You look at the ACC, I think there will be 7 openings. Because I think NC State, potentially Georgia Tech, Va-Tech, like there's going to be some open jobs. North Carolina with Bill Belichick. There's going to be 20 jobs, P4 jobs open. Loosely. And we're just sitting here spitballing.
Yeah.
Like you start to look at the domino effect of these jobs. And you like, I had a fascinating argument with a buddy of mine today that works in pro sports about whether Nebraska is a better job than UCLA. Because I think it's a foregone conclusion. UCLA is going to dump $1 billion into football. They are going to dump $1 billion into football assets. And if they do that, bro, can you imagine UCLA hiring James Franklin and giving him $1 billion?
Brian Kelly.
There's some question about whether Brian Kelly wants to coach right now. And I think that's a very interesting question. I don't know the answer to that question. I truly do not know the answer to that question. I'm not convinced Brian Kelly wants to compete right now. I'm really not. And I don't know what you guys think, the 4,000 people watching the show right now. I don't know what you guys think of that. I am not convinced that Brian Kelly wants to coach. Because if what jobs will be open in the Big Ten? So as you hit the like button here on YouTube, and if you're watching on the X platform, we really appreciate everybody's support on X. Come on over to YouTube. Get the link in my bio, The Monty Show, Monty, The Monty Show. You can find Jake on Twitter, SLC Jake. Are you going to change your handle now to Duck Douche or
Duck Douche?
Maybe
I'll change it to the Lanimal. What do you guys think?
Why don't you change it to the Lanning Slurp?
Right, the Lanning Slurper.
I'm going to guess that's open. Anyway, come on over to YouTube, The Monty Show, Monty, The Monty Show on YouTube. Give us a subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. We're just short of 183,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Would love to get to 200,000 by the end of the year. But legitimately ask yourself, what jobs in the Big Ten are going to be open? If I said Penn State's open already, UCLA's open already, Wisconsin with Luke Fickell. Wisconsin's probably making a change there. Shockingly, he did not work out. So I have to think Wisconsin's going to be open. Michigan State certainly is going to be open. Right? I feel like, obviously, Northwestern, although didn't they hire their interim full-time? What about Minnesota with Fluck? I mean, you're in another season where you're 5-3 and 3-2. Do you feel like that's successful?
At Minnesota? I mean, it's not terrible.
What about Iowa? 6-2 and 4-1, but can't win a championship or compete for a college football playoff spot.
I wouldn't be firing him.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're not like, we can't just ignore the fact that we're talking about Iowa. We're not talking about Ohio State. Like, these programs like Arkansas, Va-Tech, Georgia Tech. Like, they want to say, oh, we want to win natties. We want to do all this stuff. But if you wanted to do that, wouldn't you have been doing it already? Wouldn't you have been investing already? Wouldn't you have already gone out and got a marquee name already? Like, That's my problem. Like, we have two different dynamics at play. We've got head coaches that may or may not be a fit for some of these jobs, but then we have good jobs and jobs that are not good. Like, we've got, like, if you go to Iowa, like, Dan Lanning's not going to Iowa. Lane, anybody, any
He's
serious candidates not.
I don't think Northwestern will make a change. I don't think that's true, but that's 6 jobs, you guys. Right there, that's 6 jobs in the Big Ten.
And is it not interesting to anybody else that everybody and their mom is now willing to spend like a ton of money on football when we were all crying poor 6 months ago over the house settlement?
But you have to spend because of the house settlement. I told you guys, it's $1 billion a year at Ohio State. At Michigan's not spending that right now, but they will. It's $1 billion a year at every major program. That's how much money, and that's not what you're spending. That's the money running through your program. That's how much money is running through your program every year. And I think, no, Steve Sarkisian has at least 2 more years. Texas is a dominant program. Steve Sarkisian's not getting fired. He could not win another game this year, and I don't think he's getting fired.
No.
That would be, I don't even know the justification. You're talking about a guy who's 6-2. And what does he have left? He's got Vandy. I think they're 6-2. I know he's got Vandy, Georgia, and A&M left. And I think he's 6-2. I mean, he's
Why are you firing Sark?
That's one of those moves that just doesn't make any sense. Brett Bielema, I think, is fine at Illinois. They haven't been relevant. They're relevant now. We'll see. We'll see. Scott, bro, how big is this game for K-State? This is a huge game for K-State. Right? Like, am I the only one who feels like
it's time to make a change?
Yeah, is this not the worst season that K-State has had? And you're, what are you, 4-4? You're a 500 football team? And you've got Texas Tech, Oak State, Utah, and Colorado left. You're probably going to be 6-6, if I had to guess. But this game this weekend is the entire kit and caboodle.
And look at the losses, too, because I also think this is a great way to judge a head coach and a staff. I mean, Iowa State, you lose 24-21. Army, 24-21. Arizona, 23-17. Baylor, 35-34. Like, you're losing one possession games regularly. Like, that's
close late game situations. And a lot of that is your quarterback. I know. I don't know anything about quarterbacks, Monty. A lot of that is your quarterback. And I think it's incredibly important that people start to recognize that K-State's at the ceiling of Avery Johnson. I mean, he is going to be what he is now. Unless you've done such a crappy job developing him, which I don't think is the case. Chris Kleiman could coach. I don't think that's the case. But you're in a situation where you've done such a crappy job developing him, or he's at his ceiling. I think he's at his ceiling. I don't know where else you go.
Yeah, I agree.
Syracuse, if their coach gets stolen, yes. I would agree with that. I suppose Kirk Ferentz at age 70 is about ready to retire from Iowa. They should have fired him. Right? I don't know. All of this to go back to the Dan Lanning conversation about how he feels like he has unfinished business, I guess is the way to put it, at Oregon. And
which I agree with.
In what sense do you agree with it?
I agree. You listen, right now, Dan Lanning is a guy who wins a lot in the regular season and hasn't proven the ability to win in the CFP. That's the truth of it. And I'm a big believer when you're talking about that upper echelon, that top cut of coaches, to be in the top cut of coaches, you got to win in the CFP regularly. And, I think that, like James Franklin is a good case study of this, winning, being relevant in the Big Ten, maybe not able to beat Ohio State and Michigan regularly, but always in the conversation for the CFP, just never able to get over the hump. And Dan is a guy who did last year was basically a perfect season, right? 13-0, ran the conference, everything you could ever want out of a regular season campaign. And then you get to that playoff game and you had the week off and you just didn't perform. And so now, there's all these openings and you're an SEC guy off of the Nick Saban tree and everybody is hot to trot over you. And the problem is you're very passionate. We know this. This is not my opinion. Dan has said this, that he's very passionate about his legacy, takes it very seriously. Hey, if I'm going to coach somewhere, I want to make sure.
But if that's the case, and this was the point, if you missed the show yesterday, go back. We talked all about this. This is my point about Oregon. Oregon is not the place you stay to build your legacy. Especially when your biggest argument, at least from the fan base, is, well, we've got Nike money. Everybody's got Nike money and more.
But what does it say about Dan if he has been there? Because what is this? His fourth year there, I think it is now. It's third or fourth season there. What does it say about Dan that you were able to dominate in the regular season? You have put a quarterback in the league, as well as other guys, obviously. And, you just weren't able to get over the hump. So now let's say you go to LSU, just as an example, and you're basically the same guy. You're never able to get to a national championship. And that's the hard part is right now, just like if I'm comparing Dan as a coach to some of these other candidates, I would rather have Dan than Marcus Freeman, just stylistically speaking. I prefer Dan Lanning's style over Marcus Freeman. The problem with that is Marcus has been to a national championship game. Marcus has been further. Marcus has, obviously it's been well documented on the program that Marcus has his shortcomings, as we always joke about. And, there are a lot of times where you really hate the things that he does, and that's totally understandable. But the reality is he beat more teams when it mattered most. And so I can say that about Sark. I can say that about James Franklin. Right. I mean, Franklin's at least been there more regularly. So it's just difficult because I don't disagree that it's if you care about your legacy, you're going to go back to the SEC and you're going to enshrine yourself there. Essentially, you're going to go
to the biggest program you can get.
But you can't. I also don't disagree, though. At the same time, it's not the best look to go leave a program where you're 4 years in and you haven't really done anything. You built it up, but you haven't won. I don't know as a dude how you're supposed to feel about it.
If he leaves there, if they go, what would that be? 11-1.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think Dan Lanning's, he's won 42 games. This is his fourth year, and we were looking at this yesterday.
I think he's 42-6, I think.
And he is somebody that if he wins the rest of the year and then takes the job at LSU, are you telling me that's a strike against him?
42-7.
So if he's 42-7 now, and you add 4 more wins to that, if he's 46-7 and he gets the LSU job, are you telling me that that's a knock against him?
No, I don't think it's a knock against him.
Let's say he wins the 4 more games remaining. Let's say he doesn't play for a Big Ten championship. He wins a playoff game.
Yeah.
So you're 47-8.
Yeah.
When you leave Oregon
with a CFP win.
How is that a knock against him?
Well, at that point, it wouldn't be a knock against him. But that's the point, is that he doesn't have a CFP win yet at Oregon. He's got a bunch of wins in the regular season in the Big Ten. And I get it. I understand what he's saying. I don't disagree. Also, though, with your sentiment that, hey, LSU's calling and that job's open once every however long. It's not like that's constantly open. So if you're going to turn down LSU and then Florida gets filled, and okay, well, when's the next time an LSU level job, a Florida level job is going to be available in the SEC? Because I have to think that DeBoer's got at least
a couple of jobs there.
But look at the landscape, though. Like, so DeBoer's probably got at least 3 more years after what he's done this year, right? Unless he just falls off the wagon and they're just awful and they just take some crazy downturn, he's got to have at least 3 more seasons, in my opinion. Kirby is certainly not going anywhere. He's about as concrete as it's going to get, right? And then you're going to look, okay, Ole Miss, I guess, if Lane leaves, I guess.
Look at the jobs in the SEC. Alabama, Georgia, LSU. Those are the 3 best jobs in the country every time they're open. And that's not very often. LSU more so than others. Right? Now, you want to talk about Florida? Florida's got multiple national championships in the modern era with multiple different coaches. So does LSU. Alabama does not. Georgia does not.
What do you mean?
What?
What do you mean? Like, you're saying they don't have national championships with multiple different coaches?
Correct. So,
Okay.
And why that matters is because at LSU, they've kind of proven, whether it's Les Miles, Ed Ogeron, Nick Saban, you go there, you do the job, you're going to win a national championship. Right? You go to Florida, I think they've proven, even though they fired their last 4 coaches, you go there, you do the job, you're going to win a national championship.
Yeah.
At Alabama, you compete for a national championship every year under Nick Saban. At Georgia, you compete for a national championship every year under Kirby Smart. But my point is, those 3 jobs are the best jobs in America. And I look at Dan Lanning. He should be hired for every one of those jobs. And anytime you're offered LSU, Alabama, or Georgia, that is a job that you don't say no to. Yet he said no to Alabama already, and now he's about to say no to LSU. And you're in a position, and again, you guys lost your ever-loving shit in Eugene last night in the comments section. Oregon's not the place you go for the rest of your life.
That I agree with.
Alabama's the job you take for the rest of your career. Georgia's the job you take for the rest of your career. LSU's the job. That's a tough job. Listening to the governor's press conference today. But LSU should be a job you take for the rest of your career. Because where did Les Miles go? Nowhere. Where's Ed Ogeron? Nowhere. Where'd Nick Saban go? Everywhere. So my point is, they're big jobs, they're tough jobs, but you do the job and you're going to win a national championship. You can't say that at Oregon. And I love Oregon. I'm a huge Phil Knight guy. I believe in Oregon football, but I want to win national championships. And as I said yesterday, and I haven't found anybody inside of college football who disagrees with me. Oregon's the stepping stone. You can change that to the proving ground. Prove you do the job well here, you'll get hired somewhere else. Chip Kelly's a great example of that.
And I'd also like to point out, because I think people forget this, Dan's path, which proves the Oregon's a stepping stone point. So Dan obviously was on staff with Kirby at Alabama under Saban back in the day, right? Those 2 guys worked together along with there's a whole slew of guys throughout college football, obviously. But the point is that when did Kirby take the Georgia job? Oh, he took the Georgia job in 2016, right? When did Dan get to Georgia? Well, that's right. Dan got to Georgia in 2018. So Kirby Smart helped make Dan Lanning.
Yes.
And Dan Lanning then leaves for Oregon in 22.
And all of these guys are Saban guys.
Yeah, but
Lane
my point is that
Kiffin,
if you're Dan, you are the younger, you're the next cut. Kirby's
for
many
now.
Kirby's the now. Dan's the next guy in the SEC.
Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning.
Lane.
I think Lane's the now too. Lane's not. Lane's not young anymore. Eli Drinkwitch would be one of the next guys. I think Dan Lanning's a superstar. And if you're going to turn down Bama and LSU, how many times is the phone going to ring for you?
Plenty, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I think when you keep saying no to the biggest jobs in the country, I don't think that's the one. I don't think that's not what I would be. That's not what I would be doing. But look, that's my opinion. Monty lost his shit because he knows Lanning's not leaving. I don't think Lanning's not leaving. And what does Jed Fish have to do with anything?
Yeah, I don't know what Jed's got to do.
I'm not sure what that's a reference to. I don't think that Lanning's not leaving. I think that it's up in the air. I think Dan Lanning has a sense of accomplishment to fulfill at Oregon. He will win his next 4 games. And we'll see what's going on with Dante's health, and do they tackle in the secondary? Their yards after catch defensively are fucking brutal. And as we talked about, they don't rush the quarterback, but I think they'll win their next 4 games. Dude that abides, Iowa's the job you take for the rest of your career. Well, if your last name is Ferentz.
Yeah, I'm not taking Iowa for the rest of my career.
You have to add Texas to that list of unbelievable jobs. Well, you certainly get everything you need there. Sark's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. The stadium guy, Dana. If I were a coach and I was at Oregon, I would stay put. Okay, why? Dan Lanning will keep his job forever as long as he wins 9-10 games a year. But again, nobody's trying to win 9-10 games.
I was going to say
anymore.
that would then be an indictment on Dan Lanning.
That
if
would
he
be
only
an
wanted to win
indictment.
9 or 10.
That'd be an indictment on Oregon. You better strap your boots in, or in this case, your butt buzzer. Brian Kelly wins a lot of games. James Franklin wins a lot of games. I'm just going to keep running this back. That Brian Kelly, for everything he's not, which is a national championship coach. Do you guys understand that Brian Kelly, over his entire coaching career, Brian Kelly has never had a losing record when he left a school. Grand Valley State, 118-35. Central Michigan, 19-16. Cincinnati, 34-6. Notre Dame, 92-39. LSU, he's 34-13. 34-14. 10 of the 14 losses are in conference. And I'll break the news to you, James. Here's his win total by year at LSU: 10-10, 9-5. He got fired after winning 29 games in 3 seasons, and it wasn't enough. Nobody wants to win 9 or 10 games because that doesn't usually get you into the college football playoff. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how else to say that. Oregon wants a ring badly. That's why he hired a guy who's been under Saban and Smart, right? But he's right now, if we're being brutally honest, is Dan Lanning close to a championship at Oregon?
Not this year.
Was he closer last year than this year?
Yes.
Now, the month off going between the conference championship and the, 3 weeks off, probably kicked him right in the balls. But candies and nuts, right? We can make excuses. He lost. And he has not been back to that level. So I don't think you can say that I think they want a national championship. He's not close to it right now. And I think it's awfully difficult. Again, I think it's very difficult to recruit the top talent in college football in the portal to Eugene, Oregon. I think that's very difficult.
UT is not the be-all, end-all of college football. It's one of them.
It's certainly one of them.
Texas is open. Everybody wants the job.
Yeah.
Tuscaloosa, that cool. Never thought Alabama was cool. Eugene must be rough. But it's Alabama. Nobody thinks Tuscaloosa. They think Alabama. Nobody thinks Tuscaloosa. They think Bryant Denny. Nobody thinks Tuscaloosa. They think Nick Saban. When you say Oregon, and you're talking to Rodney, the wide receiver in Coral Gables, who runs a 4.3, 4.2.
Mm-hmm.
He's never seen a tree that size in his life. You're going to have a tough time convincing him to go play at Autzen over Bryant Denny.
Yeah.
You think the name Nick Saban doesn't mean anything to a high school junior? I think it does. I
love how people just assume that Nick Saban's not like around the Bama program, or that he would not, he somehow is not.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
We have lost Jake. There he is. Jake, your internet sucks, bro. You're having some internet issues, my guy. Because Monty is becoming a Husky fan? No, I am not a Washington Husky fan on any level. I am a Notre Dame fan. I am a Notre Dame fan. Singularly, I am a Notre Dame fan. I am not a Washington Husky fan. I have no idea where you got that. Which coach makes a move to the NFL, creating openings? See, there is this conversation. It's interesting you bring this up. There's this conversation about who's getting jobs. Coordinators at college don't get jobs in the NFL. And the funny thing is, head coaches in college football are ones getting the best jobs. Coordinators are getting the second and third tier jobs and the G5 jobs. And in the NFL, look at who's getting fired. Are the longtime head coaches getting fired? Are the mediocre Sean McDermott in Buffalo, when they fail again this year because they won't trade for a wide receiver? Do you understand this is the entirety of their season this weekend? I mean, you guys understand that, right? There is one game in the NFL that matters this weekend. And I think it is incredibly important. It is at Highmark. It is the Chiefs and the Bills. That's the game of the century right now. Because I'm telling you, what is Monday Night Football? Isn't it Arizona and Dallas? Who gives a flying flip?
Couldn't be more irrelevant, dude.
Right? I mean, it is, and I should pull it up before I say it, but
it is Arizona and Dallas.
Yeah, it is the game of the year. Sean McDermott loses that game. Does he lose his job? Probably not. What do you have to do to get fired in the NFL midseason? I don't know. Ask the Dolphins. Oh, wait, they didn't fire their guy either.
Which is just incredible.
College football is a completely different beast. You're paying Brian Kelly $800 not to coach your football team. And that's now the new normal. At every level, I'm going to pay you a lot of money. Get them out. Trent Dilfer. Get them out, James Franklin. And these guys all win a lot of games. Well, Trent Dilfer sucks. But these guys all win a lot of games, right? Yeah. Kurt Signetti doing right by Indiana. Love that. We'll see. We'll see. Tuscaloosa isn't cool. Honestly, it's not much of anything, but it has Roll Tide, they win, and that hides a lot. It's all that matters. It's Mayberry, dude, with a huge fucking football stadium where they play important games. It's okay if we disagree with the Montnator. It's okay to have differing opinions.
Okay.
Like Terminator, but funnier.
Okay.
I have no idea.
You've lost all credibility, dude.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. It is interesting to me. It is really interesting to me. The teams that don't fire their coaches. Like you look at who are routinely shitty programs. Like Minnesota, Michigan. Great point. Michigan sucks. Michigan can't win national championships. They don't win national championships. It's not a marquee job, right? Michigan or LSU. You're taking LSU every single day.
Yeah.
Right? Especially with Jabba the Manual there. It doesn't even matter. Right? It's wild to me. The bad jobs, like Michigan hiring Sharon Moore. Look what's happening. You're an average ass program.
You're going the wrong way.
You are. Michigan's going the wrong way. And you just admitted that everything you were accused of was actually what happened. There you go. Fish is a name being mentioned at Florida if Lane says no. He's got ties to the program.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't think that Jed Fish is somehow married to Washington. I mean, I think that's pretty easy to understand.
I'm telling you right now, Florida is a great job. They are a great job. If the Gators, they have money. They've got donors. They've got talent. Now, it's ultra competitive, and I think this is a huge advantage for LSU that nobody ever talks about. Who does LSU compete against for the best talent in their region? Nobody. When you're a kid growing up playing football within 100 miles of LSU, where do you dream of going to school? LSU.
Not Oregon?
Well, let me ask you this. If you're a kid that's growing up in Vero Beach, Florida, where do you dream of going to school? If you're a kid that's growing up in Orange County, California, where do you dream of going to school? Don't know. Could be USC, could be UCLA, could be any number of schools. When you grow up playing football in just about any parish in Louisiana, you want the tiger on your helmet. You want to play at LSU. They compete with nobody. You go down to Florida, they got to compete with Florida, Florida State, Miami, the entirety of the SEC, the entirety of the rest of the country. Most kids in Louisiana, if you're an elite prospect, what is the only thing that Brian Kelly did well at LSU? Kept every in-state never lost a 5-star recruit, because you don't lose 5-star recruits in Louisiana. You don't. He brought in talent. He just didn't coach very well, and he's an asshole. Right? So they're going to get a guy that's dynamic. They're going to get a guy, and Dan Lanning is excellent at this. Dan Lanning, let's talk about injuries, because this has been a big Brian Kelly talking point. Brian Kelly allegedly doesn't call kids after they get hurt and they're out for the year. Brian Kelly allegedly never had a one-on-one with his starting center for the last 3 years. Never sat on his couch. Never had him over to the house. Do you guys know that Dan Lanning calls all of his players on a regular basis? Just picks up a phone, will fucking call them. Who calls people anymore? Dan Lanning. Do you know that when Dan Lanning has a player who's injured, and almost it doesn't matter, the guy tweaked a taint, Dan Lanning's going to knock on your room. He's going to show up at your apartment, your off-campus house. And trust me when I say his kids love playing for Dan Lanning, because he cares about you.
Which gets the player to buy in.
He cares about you. Lane Kiffin
post Nick Saban, because Nick Saban is legendary. Lane Kiffin, if he has a kid out for the year, do you know that he brings that kid into the program and has him watching film, has him help coaching positions, like keeps him around the program? Lane Kiffin is that's what makes him such a good recruiter. Because it's Deion Sanders, who's probably the best in the country at this. Deion Sanders doesn't care about your football career. He cares about your life. And who did he learn that from? Who does he credit with that? Nick Saban. That's what's so special about these coaches, this handful of coaches that are candidates for every major job. They care about their kids. It's not a cliche. Family. It's not a cliche. They're going to put their arm around you. And you look at Brian Kelly, did you see that fight him and Garrett Nussmeier had? And I actually didn't have a problem with it. Who didn't go to the announcement when Brian Kelly got fired? Who didn't go to the last team meeting with Brian Kelly when he announced to the team that he had been let go? Garrett Nussmeier did not attend the meeting. Showed up an hour after Brian Kelly left. That's the kind of relationship that Brian Kelly allegedly had with his guys at LSU.
How?
Lane Kiffin,
you wonder why you got fired in the middle of the year.
Lane Kiffin leaves Alabama. And his kids were legitimately upset about it. Right? You look at, even at USC, when Sark left USC, his kids were devastated. Nobody is shedding tears over Brian Kelly because Brian Kelly was at the airport. Did you guys see that video of him at the airport where he's at the airport hopping on a private jet, leaving Louisiana? Family. He was never home. He was never home. It is what it is, man.
That's the problem, though, is that like the family thing is such a great joke, right? But
yeah,
that's why it's such a problem, because it's scheming, it's rolling out a fake ass accent so that people will like you, as if that's going to get them to like you, right? Like, oh, I'm going to talk a certain way so that somehow I can fit in, even though the day before I rolled out with family. I was doing a news interview where my Boston accent clearly was present. And that's what I have an issue with, dude. And that's why I completely agree that your reputation precedes you, Brian. Like, your inability to care about people or to again, it's this word that we always hear, right? We heard it a lot in the Harbaugh situation. We've heard it a lot over the years. This word of fostering an environment.
Yes.
If you don't know how to foster a, family-oriented environment, an environment where, yeah, you know what? Like, dude just blew his ankle up and is out for the year, but, we're going to console him and make sure he stays in the program. And, we're going to continue to develop him mentally. Physically, not so much. He's going to have to wait 8 weeks. But mentally, there's no reason why we can't develop this kid. Like, that's just unbelievable to me in a time when, you've got the governor of Louisiana today talking about how garbage your AD is, based on the decisions he's made. Like, this is getting to a point where you can't afford to not cultivate those kind of relationships. And if you're going to continue to do that, you're going to continue to get fired and continue to be a guy that's a 3-year guy, right? You're at a program 3 years. All right, we'll see you later. Like, that's who he is now.
If you could hire any of these coaches, who would you hire?
I'd probably hire Lane Kiffin. Honestly, I'd probably hire Lane Kiffin. I think Lane. The difference is Lane is already in the environment in the SEC. There isn't a learning curve. There is no, hey, I'm coming from the PNW down to the SEC, and like never been to SEC media days as a head coach, or like, you don't have to deal with any of that, right? Lane's already doing all that. He's already in the process.
You're Lane Kiffin, Florida or LSU?
I would probably take Florida only because I think that Lane Kiffin, I agree with the people saying Lane Kiffin has major Spurrier vibes about him. And I think that Lane Kiffin, I don't care how physically old he is, he plays young. And Florida is desperately in need of a guy who is competent, has the swag, is also trending younger, to take over that and just dominate that program for like 10 years. And I just think that Lane in Florida, to me, is a match made in heaven. If he went to LSU, I'm not complaining, but him in Florida just, to me, seems like a match made in heaven.
I think LSU is a really good job. Florida's not a bad job, but it's fucking LSU. Like, you win at LSU. I'm telling you, and maybe Jake, we need a roadie. I don't know. Home games at night in Death Valley. You'll never root for another college football team. You go to one, and I don't know if any LSU fans are here or not, but you go to one game at Death Valley at night, and it literally, that atmosphere just gets in your ass. You can't, it changes you. You're sucking brains out of a crawdad, and you're like, damn, this is good. It's not. It's terrible. But you're just in it, dude. I think LSU is the world. But if I'm Lane Kiffin, I'm taking the Florida job. And why am I taking the Florida job? Why does he wear a visor? Who's his dad? Does anybody know who Lane Kiffin's dad is? His dad's Monty Kiffin. And that's a guy who is a football legend in Florida. Right? Like, there's all kinds of reasons. The guy for the LSU job is Dan Lanning. That's the guy. Dan Lanning is the guy for the LSU job. And then if you can't get him, I think you go Eli Drinkwitz. Because I think, dude, Lane Kiffin is Florida football. He doesn't mind sweating down his back. He doesn't like, it is amazing to me that there's just the change that's going to happen this offseason. And I really hope Marcus Freeman gets a job. He won't leave Notre Dame. He's got a $58 million long year contract. I'd love to see him take a different job so we can be done with him. But the LSU job's too big for him. Yeah. And I think they know that.
He's not the killer that the SEC demands.
I think Eli Drinkwitz would be Dan Lanning. Listen, if I'm LSU, I'm throwing all the money I can to get Lane Kiffin. I think Lane 1, Dan Lanning 2, Eli Drinkwitz 3. Let's move on with You're getting one of those two.
Yeah, certainly.
And if you're LSU and I'm going to say this.
But this is my point about Florida, dude. This is my point about Florida, right? If you're Florida right now, and you know that LSU is after those two guys, don't you have to just crawl down Lane's throat and just scoop him up? Like, don't you just have to take control and stop waiting around and get that deal done? Take him off the table. Like, because if you're Florida and you just sit there and you're playing second fiddle to LSU, I mean, you're not really in control of your destiny here or in control of your ability to win an SEC championship.
I think the deal's done. I think Lane Kiffin's going to Florida. I think he's going to Florida.
So you think this is like Aaron Rodgers kind of, where the deal's done, we're just waiting for...
He's got a national championship contender at Ole Miss. He's not going to say two words about it. Like, I mean, you look at the, and I don't know if we still have the tape or not. We do, but listen to him talk here.
I have never made a decision based off of money, nor will I. And
Love that.
For a lot of people, they're just like, well, money and it does this and does that. I've seen too many examples in life where money does not buy happiness. So I am never going to make a decision off of money, nor do I care about it. And
it's good to have.
Jimmy Sexton gets really mad when I say that.
He's got enough.
We got to get this. We got to get this. And I'm like, Jimmy, I don't care. And he goes, I do.
He said, that's why I'm here. Of course.
You think him and Jimmy Sexton have talked about the LSU Florida situation?
They've talked about every job open, in my opinion.
He's getting the Florida job.
And I don't care what the Louisiana crawdaddy governor has to say about it. Jimmy's a damn good agent. And yes, Jimmy's a red ass and gets what he wants, and people resent Jimmy.
What a stupid thing to say.
But yeah, I mean, the Florida governor here, or the Louisiana governor here, essentially ripping Jimmy without naming him is pretty ridiculous.
You need to start looking at who represents all these people, like these agents. You know what's interesting? If I'm not mistaken, Woodard's agent, Kelly's agent, the Texas A&M, they're all the same agent. Like, you realize if I would be, I don't know how many sports writers we got here today? Just you. We should have a bunch. Okay? Like, this is ridiculous. Lawyers would be disbarred for the way these agents act and the way they're able to represent. In fact, there's no doubt, they may even represent some of the players now.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
First of all, they're not all represented by Jimmy Sexton. Brian Kelly is represented, I believe, by Trace Armstrong. In fact, I know. Trust me. But anyway, to put a bow around this, I think Lane Kiffin is putting a deal together with Florida. And I think it depends on how the season ends, but I do believe that Dan Lanning will be a real candidate at LSU. I can't believe that if you're Dan Lanning, you turn down the two of the best jobs in the SEC.
It's quite the statement.
And I understand why you turned down Alabama. You didn't want to replace Nick Saban. I can get down with that. Dude, Nick Saban's the recruiter on the LSU job. So don't tell me that, I mean, that just would be remarkable. That would be remarkable.
Choices in life, bro. Choices in life.
All right, let's run through some comments. Thank you guys for being here. 12,000 of you watching the show. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Make sure you hit the like button. If you're on X, make sure you come over to YouTube. The Monty Show, Monty, The Monty Show on YouTube. If you are not on X, go follow Jake, SLC Jake on, and I don't know why, bro. What is StreamYard's doing? Somebody's texting me, asking me what Jake's Twitter is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all down too in the comments section. If you want to come up with some names for my Twitter handle, I do need to update it.
Name is Twitter handle. Yeah.
I just haven't been able to come up with what
about Throating Dan?
Dan's throat?
No, it's not his throat, dude. Throating Dan? Is that Bound Jake?
No.
Vesty Boy?
Joey. Jake the Vest Guy. Nah, I don't think that's my handle, dude. I don't. Nah, I'm good.
How about Monty's sidekick? Only if you change yours to Japo Shitbox. I mean, I could.
Oh, and we're going to talk about a Japo Shitbox day. You wait till the end of the show.
Bro.
I got something for you today.
Bro, the non-sports story time.
I got something for your ass today.
If you have a penis, it's going to be jarring. And James, you should probably not watch the end of the show today, because my guess is you're going to take some strays on this.
Lots of strays, dude.
Because you're just the guy that. See, like, and now you're being a red ass. Now you're being a red ass. Simp whoa. Comment, Tom. Simp vest.
No.
Okay. Puffy vests, Jake. Jakey 2 vest. You know, I mean, please. Peeping bulge Jakey. See, I like that.
See, I can't. What do you mean, dude?
ECU James has found the burning bush with this humor. James, Scott, it's not about what LSU can offer Lanning that Oregon can't match. No, it's not about matching. This is not about money. This is not about money. And again, because Oregon fan can't wrap their head around it, nobody is saying that Oregon can't match money or pay, or It's nothing to do with it. It's LSU. And I dare say it's not about Oregon. It's LSU. Jake, I should have moved to Florida.com and such. This is true. The rectory. Oh, that would be amazing. Can you imagine Jake rolling in with a social handle, the rectory or Butt Buzzer Boy? How about Butt Buzzer Boy?
Nah, I'm okay.
Who the fuck is that guy?
I'm going to pass on that one, bro.
I'm going to say that's a no.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on that one, bro.
It's fine. It's fine. Tiger beats duck all day long. Could be. Hey, this is James. Welcome back.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Hi, this is James. Welcome back.
At Jake's back sweat. That could be. Do you have back sweat, Jake?
No.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Rectum. Exactly. It's not rectory or rectum. Rectum. Jakey two buzzers. That could be. That could be, Jake. Jakey two buzzers. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
You guys are children. You know that?
What's wrong with that? Should Oklahoma fire Brent Venables if he does not go to the college football playoff? Should they fire Brent Venables at Oklahoma? Jake and I are going to disagree on this after this from Prize Picks.
Yo, you think Dallas' Power 4 going to drop 30 tomorrow?
Boy, you tripping.
Did you see his mom made a post about going to the game?
What? Hold up. His mama gonna be there?
He's been averaging like 34 points a game when she's there.
At least 40 when she be on that Jumbotron.
He don't like to let his mama down.
Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Cash in on your sports fandom with Prize Picks.
Prize Picks, America's favorite daily fantasy app, including Terry. Never mind. Make sure you download the app. Did you guys hear the Terry Rozier update today? They're not going to pay him or Chauncey Billups. While they're on suspension, they will not be paid. Players Union's real happy about that. Prize Picks, America's favorite daily fantasy app. Prize Picks, download it. Open a new Prize Picks account. Use the promo code Monty. Hey, Monty.
Hey, Monty.
Hey, Monty. Use the promo code Monty, M-O-N-T-Y, Monty, to open up a new Prize Picks account. Jake, you got anybody you like in Major League Baseball tonight? How about the do? Now, listen, I am hung.
I personally believe
a 34-inch baseball bat. Do I get any credit for the Shohei Ohtani prediction last night? Did I not, Jake? What did I tell you? They should have started him game 3, not game 4. Because you knew at some point the Shohei-inating better was going to hit the wall, right? Could not locate the fastball, and he paid with a loss. It's easily the worst pitching performance we've seen from him.
Yeah, it is. It is. And, now we're in a position where, obviously it's
You're going to apologize to me?
No, I'm not. No. I'm not apologizing to you.
Why not?
That's not happening.
No.
Yeah, it's not happening, dude. Can't do it.
Okay.
Now, Trey Savage
roll your BS.
for more than 2.5 hits allowed. Yeah, I'm here for that noise. I'm here for that. That's a good position.
Tell me you've listened to the show a long time, Gabe. At Hot Hatch Jake hates national parks. That's a long time listener.
I would never do such a thing. I don't know what you're talking about.
88 mph. Got to go back in time. I don't get it.
What is that a reference to?
I know what it's a reference to. I don't get it, James. Can you Jakey hotboxing? You got to do something. SLC Jake feels old.
It is
right?
old. Mainly because I'm not in SLC anymore.
I love Shohei for 8.5 hitter fantasy score tonight because I think he's going to be looking for retribution. What do you got pitcher strikeouts? Because Snell's at 5.5 and Trey Yesavage, little bitch, is at
okay. Bro. Dude. Wow.
Trey's at 5 tonight. You like anything about that?
No, I don't. I'm going hits allowed on you, Savage. 2.5 hits allowed. I do like Blake Snell to bounce back. Trying to find him here. Yeah, Blake Snell's got some interesting opportunities. 5.5 Ks for sure. 17.5 pitching outs. You know, like, not love, because it's Toronto. They're good. They're a good hitting team, obviously. The walks allowed situation, kind of feel like that's a good one. If he has an average outing, 1.5 walks allowed. That's a goblin, though. So,
what about Jackie Egg Big Boo?
I don't know. No.
Mika Egg Big Boo.
Jake hates Adidas.
Mm-hmm.
Golfer package connoisseur. Because you're always sending people huge dongs in the golf community.
Sucking a ding dong.
I mean, you do have a track record for this. Except Colin, who's hung like a fucking golf tee. But I freely admit I'm going to hell. I am not a nice guy. I'm not a good person.
You take you a deuce. You don't sit there and look at it and flush it and move on.
Oh, when you wear a size 15 shoe, you can make jokes like that. The stadium guy, James. Yes, Jake hates Adidas. Okay. Subi bro, Jake SLC. Joey says, Jake, I made a mistake moving to Eugene. You guys, speaking of making mistakes, my wife is working in Seattle right now, so we rented our house. It's not going so well. The tenant broke a knob on my stove.
Yeah, knob.
A knob on the stove.
Was this that one, though?
Could have been, sure. That I had a knob. I have a what was that? What is the name of that comet? AG1 or whatever.
Oh, 3i Atlas rocket ship, you know.
So I have a really nice stove in my house in Salt Lake City. They break the knob. How much do you think my leasing company wants to replace that knob? A knob on a stove. How much do you think they want to charge me? A lot. How much?
$500.
More. They want this knob costs $100.55 the part, and I can have it at my rental property tomorrow. How much do you think they want to replace that knob? They quoted me $756.
We may have to go short in a couple cases.
Dude, what?
To replace a knob on a stove, they want
$700
and $56. And so I straight up said to the guy, no. They wanted $1,700 to clean the house. I said no, because I have a really good cleaning lady in Salt Lake City. I said no. I said, I'm just going to FedEx the part to the front door. And she can put it on herself, the lady who lives there. We don't allow that. It's a repair. Okay, I'll have my handyman go over there for $50.
What do you mean you don't allow that? It's my house. Like, what?
So we get into it. And the guy's like, well, actually, it's $900. Okay, and I said to him, okay, break that down for me. Okay, well, we don't replace just one knob on the stove. We replace all 6 of them.
I said, well, there's only 5 on the stove. There's 4 burners and a middle burner. Well, what the temperature for the oven? That's a dial. It's not a knob. That's not breaking. We have to replace. Okay. So, hey, man, that's only $600. And if you take one off, that's $520. Well, it's $200 to have our guy go over there and put the knobs on the stove. And I said to the guy, you're out of your goddamn mind. You want me to pay you to have a guy go to the house and put the knobs on the stove? That's going to cost me $205. He's like, yeah.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I said, that's going to take him. How long do you think that'll take him? 2 hours. I said 2 hours to push 5 knobs, to take 5 off and push 5 on. He's like, oh, well, we pay our guys a minimum of 2 hours per job. And I said, yeah, no, you don't. I'm not paying $50. I'm not paying $100.
So, okay, so you refuse to pay this. So what are they threatening you with?
Nothing. I said, I'm going to have my guy go over there. And I'm actually going to pay my former cleaning lady to go over there. To put the knobs on the stove, it takes a minute, 1 minute.
And this is on the front. This is like what starts
This
lights
is
the
the
fire.
knobs on the front of a stove.
Yeah. Because
You
it's a
pull
gas
them
stove.
off, you put them on. And these knobs, admittedly, it's a spaceship. They light up when they're on so that you know they're on. Like, I'm willing to pay the $100 for one knob. I'm not replacing all the knobs. He wants $200. He wants to pay a guy $100 an hour to go put on knobs for 3 minutes, but I got to pay him for 2 hours.
Yeah, maybe we should start a property management company. I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous,
It's
dude.
absolutely outrageous.
Like, what are we doing, dude? Like, what are we doing?
So what does the guy say to me? He's like, well, I'll do you a favor. I'll go do it myself.
God, dude, I don't know what else I'd do.
I'll go do it myself, but we can't go out there unless we replace all the knobs. I said, okay, well, you're not going out there then. So then my wife gets involved.
Oh, boy.
And as usual, she has the right answer. We're actually going to pay $65 total out the door. I called the home warranty company. They'll be there Friday at noon. And they told me that they have a parts warehouse in South Salt Lake that stocks that knob because that's a really popular oven. They can go and get it. It'll be done by Friday, 1 o'clock at the latest, is their guarantee.
You have a deal.
$65. Let me pay you $756, you clown. Like, you're out of your mind.
That's embarrassing, dude.
You're
I mean,
out
honestly.
of your mind. If you think I'm paying you $7, and on top of you tried to get me for $1,700 to vacuum and dust blinds. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
That's ridiculous, dude. I mean,
You're out of
I
your
don't
mind.
even, yeah.
Jake loves James. I like it a lot. Do the knobs have Bluetooth, dude? And it's I'm spoiled. You guys, there's a lot going on in my life
Bro,
right now.
doesn't have Bluetooth is a great troll.
I'm going to freely admit my house in Salt Lake is really nice. It's the house I lived in. It's not my rental, but like it's the house I lived in. It's got the appliances. Do you want to know how spoiled this guy right here is? This guy right here. I don't have a water spigot on my refrigerator and it pisses me off.
End of the day.
In my condo. I have to use a stupid Brita type pitcher and I hate it.
That's peasant behavior.
And I have really nice appliances back at the crib. Like I have a Bosch dishwasher. I miss it every single day. When it's done washing the dishes, it pushes the door open so that the water will evaporate out of the dishwasher.
I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellent.
So this stove is really nice. And having the knobs light up is actually a safety feature because it means your gas is flowing. That's what the halo, it's called a halo light on the knob.
Yeah, nice knob.
You're lucky you don't have to replace the whole stove like with weekly rentals. They said this is the part that's ridiculous. And I'll read you the email that the guy sent me. Where is it? Right here. Our maintenance supervisor walked the property today and recommends replacing the entire unit. We can source a similar stove, but without the electronic front for $1,190 from RC Willie. Motherfucker, you think I'm paying for a rental stove from RC Willie?
Which, by the way, is the biggest bank in the state of Utah. Just want to,
I'm not buying a new stove for one knob.
You knob?
They wanted me to replace the entire stove because one knob broke. Joey says Brian Kelly will replace the knob for $53 million.
Family.
It's ridiculous. Oak State. I should have known. If the supervisory chaplain position at the Salt Lake VA were to come available and I were to get that job, could I rent the house?
Fuck you. Fuck you.
You and your leaky ass ain't going anywhere near my house.
Dude, we don't have enough chargers for the buzzer, okay? It's not happening.
The answer is no. The funny thing is we really stressed over getting our house rented quickly. We had to do a bunch of renovations, flooring, painting, rectifying stuff. Got it rented like the first showing rented it. It's a nice house. And then immediately people are like, hey, you're renting your house? How much you want for it? I'll move in tomorrow. Hey, are you renting? You're renting? Oh, hi. Everybody. My cleaning lady, my contractors, my car sales guy, all of them, get a 3D printer. Only knobs pay this much for knobs, dude. I'm not paying that much for a knob.
The victory has already been won.
How do you break a knob? Ask your mom. Jake, the property management guy. Jake loves knobs.
Oh, yeah. Everyone go follow Two Holes on Twitter. His handle is Jake Loves Knobs.
Oak State Butt Buzzer. Mrs. Monty rocks. Yes, she does. So my wife gets involved. Yeah, exactly right. I mean, it is what it is, right? James and Monty as roommates in the 90s sitcom that I didn't know I needed. How many domestic violence calls a week would there be? Monty, I was thinking, let's break into Rice Eccles and build an upper deck to block the mountain view. No.
I'll drop that motherfucker.
Nope. Knob snob, totally. You guys, and then we really need to get to the NFL. I freely admit, 100%. I freely admit, I live well above the poverty line. And I like a certain cut of things. Mrs. Monty and I were talking about her wardrobe this morning because she's lost significant weight as well. And so she has no, I live in Seattle right now. She has no sweaters that fit her right now. And we were like, she has a vest. We were like, oh, we'll go pick a couple up this weekend. My wife is like, yeah, we ought to go by Target. I'm like, absolutely not. Right? I'd rather get bit by one of those herpified monkeys than go into this Target. And I was like, let's go to Lulu. We'll get you some pants. Like, I'm fully Lulu now.
Do you feel like, what has that been like? The transformation's been incredible.
It really has.
We used to get a bunch of junk on this program, for my Lulu love, and
No,
now
you
you're
did a
full
bungee
Lulu.
jump for your Target ridiculousness. You and your significant other will. If I said, "Hey, man, I need a douche canoe. Let's go to Target." Hey,
would you prefer Walmart?
I really need a Boeing 747 engine. Hey, let's go ahead and check it out at Target. Like, it doesn't matter. I need poop bags for the dog. Let's go to Target. Hey, I got to get I'm out of bananas. Let me run to Target for you. Like, you'll say Target for anything. Yeah, how about puffin stuff? Do you wear that vest in bed, Jake? Lululemon. Exactly right. 28 shows later, Rage Monkey. Exactly. Right. I would have thought Mrs. Monty had her clothes custom fit for her. Fam lore.
Please.
So real quick, speaking of my wife, I'm at the dog park yesterday in downtown Seattle, and it's right by the Amazon spheres. If I were single,
Macaque.
do you know my dog is a sex magnet?
His cock.
I'm not even kidding. Hey, look at that. Calamoni gifted 20 Monty Show members. Appreciate that. Calamoni, you need to be here more often. We love seeing you, dude. You guys are going to get a new head coach. Rage against the monkey. Rage against the monkey, yeah. My dog is a sex magnet. The amount of, not nearly as hot as my wife, women that walk up to my dog in the dog park. First, can we talk about this real quick? And I know we're a sports show and I'm a terrible human. We get it. When did it become okay to walk up to somebody's dog and pick the dog up? Or walk up to my dog, like this dude walked up to my dog and just like started like doing this on his hind legs. And my dog like nipped at him. And he's like, whoa. I'm like, well, maybe can I walk up behind you and slap you on the ass like that? Would that be? I said that to the guy. I was like, would that upset you if I walked up behind you and started playing? I can't remember what I said. I can't remember what did I say? Patty peppercorn on your ass?
Dude, like, your ability to just come up with like mean things to say on the fly like that's incredible.
I think I said Patty peppercorn on your. I'm like, well, would you be happy if I played Patty peppercorn on your ass, dude? Like, what are you thinking?
And what did dude say?
Everybody laughed, and he left. He left. He took his little fucking fat bulldog and left. But I'm like, I don't understand. Why do you think it's okay to try and pick my dog up? My dog is incredibly cute. Don't touch my dog. Don't give my dog a treat without asking. I am amazed about it. I am amazed about it. Famlor says, Calford, great job. Thank you. Exactly right. Calford's the GOAT. Yes, he is. Some people don't understand boundaries. Dude, it is remarkable. It is absolutely remarkable to me that people think that's okay. And then when you tell them, hey, because I said to a lady who was walking up to my dog, I was like, please don't give him a treat. Like my dog is 9,000 years old. He's like 13 years old. So I don't let people give him like extra food. I don't give him human food or extra. He gets one treat a day after he burns a deuce before he goes to bed. And you just can't, you just can't do it. And I just am amazed how many people are like, that think that's okay.
Yeah. They just assume they can roll up.
Yeah. Let's see. Douglas O'Reilly. Oh, you probably hate that song. The newest member of the Monty Show. Douglas, thank you. Rex Kwando, the kids that were never told no are adults and they don't understand boundaries, dude. It's just incredible to me how many people don't respect boundaries with dogs. And in my building, I live in a big condo tower, and Seattle now. In my building, in the elevator, it's close quarters when there's a bunch of dogs in there, and people are remarkable about it. But like today, I take my dog for a walk before the show every day so I can get fresh air and get him out. And I get back up to the floor that I live on, and there's just a dog running back and forth in front of my elevator. Like I have an elevator lobby on my floor. And we get off the elevator, and this dog like jumps over my dog like he's a hurdler. And this guy walks around the corner. He was in, like, you know how we have a trash chute in our building? He was in the trash chute room just letting his dog run all over the place. And it's the stupidest fucking dog name ever. Oh, Kibble. He named his dog Kibble. Like, put your dog on a leash, dude. You know.
Bro, Kibble was the best you could come up with.
Jakey burning a deuce.
Yeah, I don't think that's probably going to be a good handle.
New Twitter handle. You know, that's the best we can do with 13,000 people watching the show right now.
Yeah, come on. Give me a legitimate effort. What are legitimate good Twitter handles?
What is a legitimate good Twitter handle for Jake? Because he does need one. My guy Marcus, appreciate you watching the show. At Shut Up Jake. Exactly. Hey. I joke with Jake all the time. I always say, shut up, Jake. Shut up, Jake. Jakey Pluck Ducks. Pluck, okay. What does that mean? Jakey Pluck Ducks. Okay. Okay. Trash chute. That leads to a dumpster where the raccoon hunts. Exactly right. Joey B says, Monty, live in the real life version of sitcom Frasier. It makes me crazy. It makes me crazy. Say goodbye, Jake. That could absolutely be. That could absolutely be. Kibble and Jake. Yeah, Kibble and Jake's. Yes. Yes. What are you leaning at right now, Jake?
I don't have anything yet. I literally don't have
nothing.
I have nothing yet.
Peeping bulge, Jake?
No.
How about Mike Smith, a member for 27 months? Oh, Mike. Overpriced appliance to fix oats and ground turkey.
Well, I'm so pissed off about this knob. I can't make my turkey in my walk with my sweet potato. Come on.
That's real funny, bud. It is actually. I've actually had trouble getting oats. I'm telling you, Zepbound, and then we really got to get back to football. Zepbound is working wonders for me. I have to do my 90-day checkup with a doctor. Dude, there's so much content. Finding a new doctor is a real pain in the ass. I had a really good doctor in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
And now I have to find a new doctor here in.
Which I'm a little surprised that you have to actually go in.
Yeah, my doctor that I just found won't write me a script for Zepbound. I have to go and meet her Saturday or Friday morning at 7 a.m. It's like half a mile away. I have to go meet her. But if you guys don't know what Amazon One Medical is, you're crazy. It is such a good service. It is such a good service. But anyway, Zepbound works wonders, dude. I have lost 43.5 pounds, and I'm just not hungry in the morning. I'm forcing myself right now to eat a protein bar. I found a protein bar I like. I'm forcing myself to eat a protein bar on days where I drink 60 ounces of water before 10 a.m. I'm just not hungry. You drink water, you will not eat food. And it's tough because you've got to get your protein in. But you joke, Mike, about fixing oats and ground turkey. I crushed a bag of frozen peas and carrots with ground turkey today with pollo asada seasoning. And it is amazing. Pollo asada seasoning.
Bro,
it is
dude,
amazing.
Stop.
What? You shake the seasoning onto the
bro.
Ground turkey or ground chicken?
Turkey.
Okay. Jakey Glizzy Guzzler. I like it.
I don't think that's probably going to make the cut, dude. I'm just you know.
Did your doctor have warm hands?
Okay.
Speaking of awkward. Ron Burgundy. Jakey length girth.
Not bad. Joey says, say goodbye, Jake is good. I think it is.
It is. That's a good one. That's definitely on the list.
New and improved 21 quota sauce. Exactly.
Wow, bro.
We all know it. We have to offload DNA 21 times a month to be
21.
Be helpful.
Do something,
Shake weight, Jake. Hey, dude wants to know, Jake, can you demonstrate the shaking again?
Nope, that is not in my job description, bro.
What about roller food, Jake?
No.
Nah, bro. All right, NFL Power Rankings, Week 9. No Wasikowski today. He's going to be really disappointed when I don't put the Lions at number 1. Jake, what has surprised you? What has surprised you about the NFL season so far? Is there anything that really stands out?
The resurgence of the Chiefs and how quickly it's happened.
That's surprising to you.
Yeah, well, I think that early in the year the struggle was super real, and it was the first time that team had really had any type of adversity, any type of real concern that they weren't going to be, saying they weren't going to be a playoff team was strong. Everyone, I think, kind of assumed that they would scratch into the playoffs, but not a Super Bowl contender. Hey, we're top 3 in power rankings every single week, the whole year type team. That there was concern that you weren't on that level. And, so Worthy returns. I think it was in week 4, I think. Maybe it might have been before that. Sure. Worthy returns, and you start to see these flashes of like, hey, okay, down the field, that's opening things up. Like, now all of a sudden Trav is getting more involved and the backs are more involved, and then Rice comes back and you're just back. Like, you're back.
It's Xavier Worthy's healthy. Rashee Rice is fast. So is Xavier Worthy. And you can't continue now to send 6 guys at Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I don't even think this is rocket science. I truly do not believe this is even.
But they deserve credit for the ability to bounce back like this. I mean, it would be.
I don't think there's any doubt about this. But let's not make this out like the comet that's headed to destroy the Earth all of a sudden has dropped
3 AI Atlas.
3 AI Atlas has dropped aliens that are playing football for the Chiefs. If you're going to send 6 guys at any quarterback in the NFL, and he doesn't have the weapons to defeat man coverage, you're going to play like the Chiefs played.
Mm-hmm.
When you can only send 4 guys, and did you see how the blitz percentage against the Chiefs last weekend? The decline was precipitous. It was because you can't blitz with and I would also mention that Trav looks like the lower reps and the lower targets served him well because it looks like he's got his legs back now, right? When he was the number 1 target, he's not a number 1, right? But I look at all of these things. You put speed on the outside. You get a running back who is really good in short yardage and can catch the football in the red zone. And then you have a tight end who is arguably the best tight end in the history of chip block, get into the flat. You're going to be a dominant offense when you have Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback.
Right.
Now you got to deal with his crazy wife and his psycho brother, but that doesn't impact the way he plays on Sunday.
Nope.
You like nothing? Okay.
No, I mean, you're completely right. I completely agree. That's why I didn't say anything. I completely agree with you. 100%.
Then when you get every call from the officials, what do you think's going to happen? Because we're seeing that creep back into the equation too.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL wasn't ready to let go of Swelsey.
Yeah.
And I think that this is all something where you put this together and you're starting to see, hey, Patrick Mahomes is human. And when he has weapons, and Oak State James is a Cowboy fan instead of a lying scumbag Chiefs fan, it's funny how much better the result is on the field. Oh, hey, look at that. KC is much better with wide receiver Rice in the lineup.
All right, Adam, added to the blacklist. It's over, dude.
The other receivers had to step it up, and Kelsey also had to step his game up if he wants Mahomes to throw him the ball. Dude, is there room on the headstone? Famlore, there's no AFC team remotely close to being flawless both sides of the ball. The Chiefs are pretty close. The Chiefs are pretty close because I'll tell you, I was looking, and I know you guys are going to hate what I'm about to say. I was looking at PFF this morning, looking at the breakdown of the separation, and there is no question the Chiefs went from 16th to 7th in the NFL in overall grade at PFF. And what was the biggest jump? Explosive play percentage helped their pass offense, which gave them a much higher rating offensively. And I would also remind you that defensively, the Chiefs are 6th in the NFL. And specifically, I think it is worth noting that the Chiefs are not elite in any one category defensively. I think that much is very true. They're just really solid across the board. They are really solid across the board defensively. They're not great against the run. They're not great against the pass. They're not great at pass rushing. But they are rock solid in coverage. They're the number one coverage team in the NFL. And I would also point out that they're having a terrible season in special teams, and they're still top half in the NFL. That team is good, legitimately. And the issue starts creeping in this weekend because the team that should really be worried right now is the Buffalo Bills. Do you guys understand that their coach is Sean McDermott, who's a defensive guy? And do you understand that they're currently 28th in the NFL in defense? Oh. Like this cat, I'm telling you, they probably would not fire a coach middle of the season in Buffalo. If this continues, and they're going to lose this weekend, he's going to get fired at the end of the year.
The only question that matters, in my opinion, for Buffalo has nothing to do with the defense, even though the defense is a massive problem. I completely agree with you. But to me, the only question that matters in Buffalo is how many years of Josh Allen's prime are you going to waste? Because that's all you're doing. You're wasting his prime. And I understand, and we've talked about it many times on the program, that Josh Allen has shortcomings. He has things that he needs to get better at, but he is certainly good enough at that position to be on a Super Bowl team. And ultimately, one way or the other, whichever way you want to slice the pie, this roster is not good enough to get to the Super Bowl. And this weekend is going to display all of your weaknesses, and it's going to bring all of the skeletons out of the closet on this roster, this year's roster and this year's team, and you're going to find out what you actually have. Because, yes, the Chiefs are probably going to win the game. But is this competitive, or is this a 2-possession win for the Chiefs? Ooh. And that's what I think the conversation in Buffalo is going to graduate to. Because make no mistake about it, you're 5-2. You're fine. You're in a solid spot. You're contending for the playoffs. Like, you're not, this is not a dumpster fire by any means. But I just have major questions about a team that hasn't really played a great team yet. You look at their schedule, and they've played a lot of bad teams, dude.
Yes, they do.
You lost to the Patriots and the Falcons, and the Patriots are solid. They're good enough team to beat you, but you should beat them. But you lost to the Patriots and a really bad Falcons team, and now you start to get a step up, right? You get the Chiefs, then you get the Dolphins, but then you get the Bucks, then you get the Texans, then you get the Steelers. Like, you're going to start to sprinkle in some better teams here, and the drama inside of that locker room is going to start to ratchet up if you're not competitive. So I just think from an organizational standpoint, we love to play the quarterback game with bad organizations, or maybe organizations that have young quarterbacks, right? Like look at the Bears, just as an example. What does everyone like to do with the Bears? Oh, well, it's all Caleb's fault. He's terrible. He sucks. The nail paint, they've been terrible. It's not good enough. That's all we want to do with the Bears. But then we look at the Bills. or the Lions, right? Or some of these teams that maybe are underachieving, and the Ravens, and we don't want to say, hey, well, dude, maybe it is time for a change. Maybe we need to talk about like what can jumpstart this roster, because we are a team that definitively has a quarterback that's good enough to play in the Super Bowl, and we're not going to the Super Bowl regularly. That's what I think the problem for the Bills is, dude. And so yeah, when you lose on national TV this week, and you know you're on CBS and everyone's watching, and you know you're what is this? You're at Highmark and you lose, dude. That's just unacceptable, dude. That's not going to work.
And I think the thing for me is this is a huge game, because if you beat the Bills, you pull even with them in the standings, or actually you'd be ahead of them. And you look at Kansas City's schedule: at Buffalo, at Denver, the Colts, at Dallas, Texans. The next 5 weeks will probably determine the season. And especially considering after the Texans, your Chargers at the Titans, Broncos at the Raiders. And then you're done. This is it. And that Charger game obviously is huge, but I don't think in this division especially, I don't think there's any doubt that this division's going to go through Denver. I don't even have a doubt about that. And when I start looking at the numbers on defense in the NFL, and you start to understand that Denver is 11th on defense, and the thing that worries you is they're not a good tackling defense, and they don't cover well. And that terrifies you when the Denver Broncos are 19th in the NFL in coverage. And when you look at the tackling numbers, you know what's really scary about the tackling numbers? The Broncos are 17th. The Buffalo Bills are 32nd in tackling.
Yeah, just a small fall off there, you know.
Dead last, the Buffalo Bills in tackling. With Sean McDermott as your head coach, you're dead last. I mean, I don't even know how you explain that. That you're bad in tackling. You are bad in coverage, and you have one of the better pass rushes in the NFL. It's what I've been talking about all year. Is this team going in the next week with the trade deadline quickly approaching? Is this team going to make a trade for a wide receiver to help Josh Allen? You have the NFL MVP. You have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and he doesn't have a guy to throw to right now.
How is that possible?
I don't know. And let's not sugarcoat this. There are guys available, the entire wide receiver room, including Jacoby Myers, who I think is probably the best fit there. I think Jacoby Myers is a guy that is a perfect fit. I just don't understand. And if anybody wants to help me understand it, I don't understand how on earth you haven't made a trade in Buffalo for a wide receiver. It is befuddling to me. And I think the two places that you've got to make a deal, you've got to go get a safety and you've got to go get a wide receiver. And because I truly think, and this is probably too much to say, I don't mean to get into the deep ends of X's and O football. Go watch this weekend against Kansas City. Watch how shitty the angles that the Bills secondary take are. It is. I was reading an article at PFF, and they are the worst angular defense in the NFL, which is huge. Angular means ball carriers here, and I'm going to go over here to try and make the tackle when he's going over here. Like, they take terrible angles, and they routinely lose leverage in the secondary. And you've got to figure it out, in my opinion. I don't understand it. I really don't. And the guy that I would go get Budda Baker from Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
If I am the Buffalo Bills, I would go get Jacoby Myers from Las Vegas, and I would go get Budda Baker from Arizona. I think that fixes the whole thing.
Yeah, they're available.
I don't know if Arizona would trade Buda Baker. I think that's an interesting question.
Age 30 seasons on deck. So
That's
a
point.
diminishing. That's a
Can
diminishing.
you believe that already, Jake? Do you remember when they drafted him?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, it's people are talking about it. I mean, he's almost 30, and they have not been close to a Super Bowl. So if you're Buda, how long you hanging out? You know?
Yeah. I think Cole Bishop has been a disaster at safety for Buffalo, and which is really surprising. You got to. For right now, they need to go safety and wide receiver. And I just think it's incredible that you're in this position as the Buffalo Bills.
It's unacceptable.
Douglas Riley, do they just hug each other in practice or something? I don't know.
Something like that, dude.
Isn't it crazy? Like,
is it possible that they could ride the D?
That's a really good defensive coordinator in Sean McDermott. And they can't tackle, and they don't know how to find the football. It's wild. It's wild. From what I can see in a quick search, the Bills have about $58 million in cap, either on the reserve list or dead cap. The Chiefs have way less. Well, you look at the teams. What are the Cowboys going to do? The Cowboys still have? They have one of the largest amounts of available cap space in the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
That defense is terrible.
Who gets Max Crosby?
I don't know if Max wants to be traded. I think Max Crosby is fascinating. Fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're Buffalo, like, I'm a big believer that these front offices need to go about this just a little bit differently. You know, if you're in this position and people are starting to question McDermott and the defense and like their overall structure of this team, not questioning Josh, but just the structure and the guys you have in place on defense and how bad the analytics are. Like, I mean, is it even worth it? Like, this is my point. This is why the conundrum is so difficult in Buffalo, because are you going to sit there as the brass in Buffalo and be like, hey, we need to add talent on defense. We need to bring in, okay, not Max Crosby if he didn't want to be traded, but, a guy of that caliber. We need to bring in, a true difference maker, a true game wrecker of a defensive player to make a difference for us. Yeah, right? Like Bradley a guy Chubb. Like that. Or are we going to just suck it up this year? And we're just we're gonna revamp this team in the offseason. We're gonna let some guys go. We're gonna change head coaches. We're gonna, that's what I think is difficult. Is that this is much like this is much like Penn State's conundrum. Hey, we're getting to the playoffs, but we can't win a college football national championship. Can't win the Super Bowl. Like what do you do with that? Because I'm telling you, Josh Allen is not going to play at this level for 10 more years.
Can you, because there's rumors like, I think Breece Hall's a really fascinating guy. It is alleged that the Jets will not trade Breece Hall to the Patriots, and the Bears are the other main suitor for Breece Hall. And I'm really curious. And
Breece Hall's still got something to prove.
Well, but if you're the Jets and you can get a first-round pick from the Patriots, I understand you don't want to trade him to the Patriots. I don't think I would do it for a first-round pick. That's one of those ones to watch. But I think it's really interesting that when you start looking at, like, Shedeur Sanders is very interesting.
What a disaster.
Oh, it's a huge disaster. It's a massive, massive mistake. And I am amazed. I am amazed at how bad it is. I just don't
understand what Stefanski's looking at, dude. I don't understand. Like, it's not good enough anymore just to be like, oh, well, we're just working with Dylan Gabriel like that. Like, he sucks. He's not good. Like, and everyone was all like, oh man, he looks amazing. Dude, he's left-handed and he's not explosive. And you want me to believe in this guy as a franchise quarterback? I'm not doing that, dude. I've seen enough left-handed quarterbacks in the league to know that's not your guy, pal. Sorry, Dylan. You're a nice guy, career backup, no problem with it, but you're not a starter. So what's the worst that can happen if you put Shador out there for a week and he gets lit up? Oh, I told you he sucks anyway. Like, what's the worst that can happen? That's what I don't get about Kevin, dude.
But I agree with that. But I look at Detroit, right? Detroit needs safeties and corners and C.J. Gardner-Johnson took the Bears over the Lions. What is it that, was it, clearly it was the Lions offered a practice squad spot. The Bears offered an NFL roster spot. But if you're the Lions, dude, you've got to go get coverage. There is no question. You have got to go and get coverage. And major corners have been traded by the Browns, not to the Lions. It's crazy to me. These teams because I think the Lions are really close, but they keep getting beat in these big play scenarios. You've got to go and get that. You have got to go and get that. And like somebody's for the Bears, for instance, DJ Moore is said to be available. The Bears would be willing to trade DJ Moore. If you're the Buffalo Bills, because the realistic guys for the Bills, and obviously the money is a huge problem, right? The money is a huge problem. But if you look at the guys that are available, like who are the wide receivers that are available? DJ Moore, probably Chris Olave in New Orleans. He's available. The Lions have 20, and I should look it up before I run my mouth. Tyreek Hill.
I mean, he's out for the year, but if you're a team that's looking to
you're
get
not.
better,
No way. The Lions are win now. I think when you look at the Lions have $25.5 million in cap space. Go make the trade. Go make that trade, right? And you look at the Cowboys who have the number 2 cap space, 31.1. The Patriots are at 54.2. The Patriots are out trying, like when you're trying to get Breece Hall, you're out trying to make a move, right? And I think, and now I know I'm probably going to take a beating on this, but you understand that you've got to run the football in this league to win. You have to run the football in this league to win. And I think it's incredibly important that teams like the Lions, you have got to understand this is it, right? By the way, they signed an extension with Hutchinson today. You're not bringing Jared Goff back. This is it for you. On this current incarnation, you've got to make a run now. Go get safeties and corners. Go get defense to help you. Yet they're not doing that, right? No. It's incredible to me that they're just not willing to do that. And we're going to sit here, you guys, and it is going to be very clear the teams that wanted to win a championship and those that are okay doing what they're doing. And I am very curious to see like what the Detroit Lions do, because I think they're really close. The Packers are better. And I think if you're the Lions, you got to go get everything that you can do. I mean, if Jerry Jones is truly available in Jacksonville, how have the Lions not called? Right? Like Jerry Jones, I think is a really good corner. I think he could benefit from being in Detroit's system, which is aggressive. And I think he would be free to play. I mean, what was he, a second-round pick? A third-round pick 2 years ago? The guy's invisible in Jacksonville, and I think he's a big play guy. Go get him. Like, he's out there. I look at the best available guys, like anybody that if the Buffalo Bills have not called the Niners on Jawan Jennings, right? Like, that's a wide receiver that's available. Like this John Mechie trade today. And I understand that he's been moved, right? But I totally get that John Mechie's been on 71 teams this year. That's a cat who can still play football. And I think that helps the Eagles. That move helps the Eagles, right? Like if you look at Chuba Hubbard, who needs a running back? Well, the New England Patriots ought to call Carolina, right? For sure, who doesn't? Who needs a defensive end? How come nobody has called the Bengals about Trey Hendrickson? He's just sitting there. How come the San Francisco 49ers have not made a deal to get Trey Hendrickson? How come the fucking Dallas Cowboys have not got Trey Hendrickson yet? You want to talk about a perfect fit? Is there any more of a cowboy than Trey Hendrickson?
Seriously.
Right? Like I look at these guys and I say to myself, you have dudes. There are defensive ends available. You know, like I don't know. I'm sure you guys follow Adam Schefter. He said today that Myles Garrett is not leaving Cleveland. I think he said something like you had a better chance of winning the Powerball. Right?
Yeah.
Which I agree with. And I just think it's one of these things where we keep looking at all of these moves. And if you're the Denver Broncos and Patrick Surtain's going on the IL, bro, you got to go get a corner or a safety right now. Right? You've got to go make that move.
Facts.
Which is why CJ Gardner-Johnson going to the Bears is so shocking, because there were other teams out there who needed him. And he winds up
here
on the
we
Bears.
are.
Because teams are not willing right now today to give a guy like that an NFL roster spot, because teams like Detroit, who's competing for a Super Bowl, I would say, don't want to give him a roster spot until they can't get something better.
Yeah.
So then he winds up going to the Bears. You know, like it is.
No question about it. No question about it.
Yeah.
It's what defines good organizations and bad ones.
Yeah. The Quinnen Williams thing is very interesting, because do you think they trade him? Do you believe? Because the hot rumor is Quinnen Williams to the Chiefs.
Do you believe?
If you trade Quinnen Williams to the Chiefs, I'm gonna find you and kick you in the balls, Woody. You trade Quinnen Williams to the Chiefs, I will do nothing. You can't trade him to the Chiefs.
I'll drop that motherfucker.
You cannot trade Quinnen Williams to Kansas City. That would piss me off.
Woody's saying, watch me.
Because I think he's gonna. And I think, to Mike's point, I think it's Dallas or Kansas City. I think Dallas is desperate for a guy like Quinnen Williams.
Yeah, Dallas is desperate for a guy that they can sell as some generational talent that's, replacing Micah. That's what Jerry is desperate for.
Oh, James, you're going to miss the non-sports story of the day.
You really don't want to miss that story, dude. I'm telling you.
Big Blue Horses. Lions have a big bill coming due with the quarterback in dead space. They're not going to pay Jared Goff. And you don't pay a guy that's 79 years old and stands still in the pocket what they will be required to pay Jared Goff.
Then you damn well better have a plan.
Well, truer words have never been spoken. You better have a plan.
You don't go from Goff to nobody bench warmer guy.
Jared Goff. Is Jared Goff a legitimate? I say legitimate. Do you believe Jared Goff is a guy that can take you to a Super Bowl?
I do. Yeah. I think in this iteration, yes, because we've seen guys in certain systems be able to stand around and deliver the football, right? But what that requires is that the coordinator, the offensive coordinator, the quarterback, and the wide receivers are all on the same page. And also that you have a running back that can provide protection. Because we saw Tom Brady do this for years. Not that I'm comparing Tom to Goff in talent or anything like that, but just from the sense of a guy who is basically immobile, a pure pocket passer who's not going to run around. What did we see him do for years? Stand behind that offensive line, use his running backs for protection, and go underneath until the defense came close to the line of scrimmage, then put it 15 yards down the field to your wide receivers. So it's possible. And Goff, I think, has the arm and the IQ to do it, but I don't know that they as an offense are, ready and in a place where they can do that on the fly in the middle of a season. Because that's what I think it takes. And what ends up happening is Goff winds up holding it too long because they're going down the field too soon. And that's when they get in trouble.
And I think it's hurt Amon-Ra a little bit. And their offense isn't the problem. They have got to find corners, dude. They have absolutely got to find corners because I think it's just so critically important that they cover because they just cannot cover, man. Like they cannot. And that's just my opinion. I think their biggest need is coverage. And I pretty, as sure as I am sitting here, I think it is really important that they figure that out. Who's the best team in the NFL right now?
Kansas City Chiefs.
I would agree with that. I think 100%.
I just think that they're the most dangerous team in the league. They are the most respected. They're the most feared. I think that now that they've shown the ability to score regularly in multiple different ways because their guys are healthy, they're right back to who they've been. And I think that I think that the AFC has really stumbled this year. I think that the AFC from the Chiefs standpoint is about as easy as it's been. I mean, who's really going to give the Chiefs a big problem in the AFC this year? I mean, honestly, like you
ask me a week from now.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what they do against the Bills. I think that's a great point.
Well, at the deadline, I say ask me a week from now after the trade deadline. If Buffalo isn't going to go get a real wide receiver, the AFC's over. Because as much, and again, I'm convicted that the Baltimore Ravens are a real threat in that. I know that this gets controversial, Monty. I totally get that. And I understand why it's controversial. But in the North, my belief is that the Baltimore Ravens are in the driver's seat because they've played nobody in the division. They have one division game played. Meanwhile,
the division's not very good.
The Pittsburgh Steelers should be in unbelievable control at 3-0 or 4-0 in this division, and they're 3-1 because they shit themselves. And I just will never understand. I will never. You want to talk about a team that needs a hot injection of talent defensively? How did you lose back-to-back to the Bengals and Packers?
The biggest load that we've seen.
Back-to-back in shootouts. The offense, and I know Jake says Aaron Rodgers sucks. I am telling you now, the offense on this team is not a problem. You look at that team in the last 2 weeks, they've given up 56 points. So let me get this right. 68 points. Let me get this right. You've scored 56 points in 2 games and you've lost both of them. Yeah, because you gave up 68 points. Let that sink in, Mr. Aaron Rodgers sucks. How, hot beef injection of talent, didn't say that. Jerry Jones is in on the rigging. Okay. I think the NFL is rigged and is purposely holding the Dallas Cowboys back. They don't want Dallas being the face of the league. They want the Chiefs. Nah, I don't know if I'm going to say that. Convinced? No, I said convicted. Convicted. Eagles open to trade AJ. They say that's what the rumors say. Has to be the Chiefs, at least easily in the AFC. The cap caught up with the Chiefs' competition faster than the Chiefs. I don't know that I disagree with that. I think when I start...
The cap is not why they're the best team in the league, dude.
I think age is why they are the best team in the league. Look at how that injection of youth, another injection.
The biggest load that we've seen.
If I had to rank, I need to look at one other stat. If I had to rank right now, the Chiefs are my number one. The Chiefs are my number one right now. I think, how good are the Indianapolis Colts?
Good. I would have them number 2.
I think that's exactly going to be my question. And they took the Titans apart at the joints And I mean, I don't understand. Do you guys understand that the fucking Colts, who's got the most wins in the NFL? The Indianapolis Colts are 7-1 and 5-0 at home. 5 of the 7 are at home, but they're 6-0 in the AFC. They're 2-0 in the division. Now the division sucks because Houston, God, what happened to the Texans? But are you telling me I think they're the second best team in the NFL. I'm putting the Chiefs number 1. I know that sucks and you all hate it. I've got the Lions. I've got the Lions 3, Tampa 4, and the Green Bay Packers 5. I think the Packers and Rams are. I need to see a little more from Matt Stafford. I need to see a little more that he's going to stay healthy because I don't trust the Eagles. Rams or Seahawks? Rams.
Rams.
Rams or Niners?
Rams.
It's really close. That is, bro. I would point out that the Rams are 0-1 in 0-1 in the division, 0-2 in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
And the 49ers are 3-0 in the division. So I look at that and I'm like, yeah, they've beat the Seahawks, the Cardinals, and the Rams. And that November 9th game at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, that's a huge game. That is a huge game. Huge game. I just don't think I shouldn't say any. Most defenses cannot run with the Chiefs. That's the single biggest thing. I talked about this for months and months in college football now. Speed is killing people in the game of football. And I look across the NFL. You put a healthy Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice fresh off of car wrecks. And look at how much faster Travis Kelce is when he's running behind those guys. Speed is killing people. And you also start to understand that the only reason that Pittsburgh is struggling is they're really slow defensively. I mean, really slow defense, super fast offensively. Cannot compete speed-wise defensively. It's unthinkable. It's unthinkable. But I have the Chiefs number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, all roads go through Indy at the moment. Don't disagree. You could make that argument. And I think if the Lions make a deal at the deadline, I could see them very quickly. Look at the transformation. Look at the transformation of the Green Bay Packers with Micah Parsons. Look how much that has changed the Green Bay Packers defense. That's the deal that you need to go and make. That's a deal you need to go and make. And my strong opinion is somebody's going to go make that deal. Who's it going to be?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question that I need answered. Who's it going to be that's going to go make that deal? And the answer is I don't know who it's going to be.
Yeah.
Because I think if somebody gets that, I think you're cooking with gas. My opinion is you really are in dire need in a lot of places to go and get a game wrecker. And I think they're out. Quinnen Williams, to your point, Mike, Quinnen Williams is that guy. And maybe he's the guy that somebody goes and gets. But it's going to be tough to run with people like the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Chiefs with the Broncos and Colts after the Bills. The Broncos, I'm telling you.
Not legitimate yet. You have to we need more time on that.
Bo Nix
is progressing. but is not that guy yet.
The interesting thing about the Broncos now, is that I think it's going to be really tough to argue. It's going to be really tough to argue that Bo Nix is the reason they're winning games. I think it's going to be really tough to argue that. I don't know how to argue that. And because I just see too much in his numbers he makes a lot of throws that you would never get away with, and somehow he is. And again, I said this about Bear Bachmeier, and I was wrong about Bear. I think that it's going to be very interesting to see how Bo Nix progresses this season. And yeah, I guess we'll find out.
Certainly.
So is what it is. And I think I want to know who is going to be the surprise team. Like, are the Broncos that surprise team? Because when I look through the numbers on this, and I start saying to myself, okay, well, who's gonna buy and sell at the deadline? Because I think that's a huge question mark. Who's gonna buy or sell at the deadline? That's gonna determine who the surprise team is.
Can the Chargers buy? Because I think they need one more piece.
I think that's an interesting question. That's a really interesting question. And I think they can. What about the Eagles? Are you sold that team is still really good?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're a solid football team, but the problem is there's rumors abound about AJ being traded. There's rumors abound about, getting rid of this guy, getting rid of that guy, great football teams don't have those rumors. Like you'll notice the teams that go on and win are always, the rumors are always, hey, well, the Chiefs are really interested in getting this guy or acquiring, hey, this team, the rumor is this team's trying to acquire this guy, not, hey, man, it's rumored the Eagles have AJ on the trade block. They're shopping him, So that's why I'm not a buyer yet on the Eagles. If they do nothing, if there's no transactions through the trade deadline, then no, I don't have them winning the Super Bowl. They would have to, figure it out. I just think there's been so much drama.
No, Saquon has this groin thing that we don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem to be serious. He said he could have kept playing.
Yeah,
but
maybe so. But then why weren't you?
Yeah. I think if I like Seattle a lot, but you got to get Julian Love back. Without Julian Love, I don't think they are nearly the same defense. Puka Nacua, same thing for the Rams.
Puka Nacua.
Emeka Egbuka, I think, is an interesting guy if he's healthy. But again, this is football. Guys don't seem to stay healthy, right? But I think it's gonna be interesting. I look at Bo Nix, and I think you've got to give RJ Harvey more touches of the football. I think RJ Harvey hasn't gotten nearly enough of the football.
Harvey.
RJ Harvey. And this Patrick Surtain thing. If this shoulder is a really bad deal, he's a huge part of their defense. But if this is a significant injury, I think that's a huge problem. And then the Chargers that you talked about, I think Arondé Gadsden has been a revelation for a rookie in this league. That's tough. Joe Alt can't continue to miss reps. If he's not going to be healthy, Justin Herbert's not going to be healthy. I think that's it. That's a deal. I think Khalil Mack and Denzel Perryman, that's a real question mark for them. Like Derwin James. Derwin James and Mekhi Becton being out are huge losses for them. But
that's what I'm saying. They need to acquire guys.
Yeah, Derwin James continues to be that guy you can't count on. It's almost like the 49ers with, like you look at
always something going on.
Yeah. You look at Nick Bosa being out, that's a huge loss. right? Are you going to, like, how many hits is Mac Jones going to take?
A lot.
Right. So you lost your best defensive player and your second best defensive player and Fred Warner.
And how long are you stringing along the, the injury bug situation with Brocktober, right? Because eventually, dude is going to start being unhappy that he's not playing, but that's not now. And, that's not going to be the rest of the season either. So I just don't know. Again, this is my thing with the 49ers, and few teams have this situation. So it's kind of unique, but like if Mac Jones continues to play well and Brock wants to come back and is healthy, you're really going to put your team through that kind of change? Like, that's tough.
But I look at the Washington Commanders, who I think are done. I think they're done at 3-5. You're probably not going to the playoffs.
Starting quarterbacks hurt out. I mean,
Terry McLaurin hurt again. Huge. I mean, the guy makes 2 unbelievable catches and then can't play much in the second half.
Yeah, we'll see you next year.
Marcus Mariota sucks, right? Oregon's a stepping stone job. I don't know. I look at some of the teams at the bottom. Joe Flacco, this is why you don't trade for Joe Flacco. Now he's got a shoulder injury with the AC joint. But I think at the bottom of the league, I think the Giants without Cam Scatafreak.
Dude.
But again, how long is he going to be able to run with the violence that he runs with? How long? I think not wrong.
Nobody can do it forever. And I think he's 2 seasons like that at most.
I think he is learning the hard way that you can't do it like that. I think he's learning the hard way. I truly do. Stefanski talking about Dylan Gabriel through the rest of the year with Shedeur Sanders. You suck. I think the Browns are the worst team in the league right now. I think Tennessee's a close second. Tennessee's defense is deplorable. Did I just say deplorables? The Saints with Tyler Shuck, good luck. Then I think it's the Jets and then the Raiders. And the Raiders, with Brock Bowers coming back, I think that's huge. But is Geno Smith the starting quarterback there? Is Pete Carroll done? I mean, are you going to...
I mean, I think they're in a better spot that they had been in, better than it's been in prior years, but it's not great.
Is Kenny Pickett your starting quarterback now?
Kenny Tiny Hands Pickett?
You should trade for Shedeur Sanders. One of these bad teams. Now, obviously, it's not going to be the Gents because you've got a stud. But if you're Miami, New Orleans, the Raiders, the Jets, I mean, the question about the Jets is it Justin Fields or is it something else?
Dude, the answer's clear. It's not Justin Fields. It is the organization, the front office, Woody, the whole thing. It's just that environment under Woody's ownership that's terrible. And I know that Justin Fields isn't some MVP candidate or something crazy, but I think that he's shown he's good enough to play in the league. I think he's shown that given the right, coaching and mentorship, he's capable of executing a game plan and putting you in a decent position.
But have you shown that you have internet that isn't going to fail during the entire show, or no, you don't think that's the case?
Hey, we go through it, man.
Truth. And then there's this story that we're going to end the show on. You read it. I'm just read the headline.
The CAC.
This is a true story.
Dude offering member enlargements in his 1990 Toyota shitbox. So bro gets pulled over.
I don't want you anywhere near me with this stuff. Go ahead, Jake.
I mean, I just don't even know what to say to this. First of all, if you need if you're looking for an enlargement procedure to be done, You're going to bro who's doing it in the back of his 90s Corolla? You are? I don't care how small that thing is. You're willing to risk it all?
I don't care how small that peen bar there, boy.
I don't care if you got a toothpick down there, bro. I'm not risking that on Buddy.
Hey, I heard you do penis enlargements. How much does it cost? $59.99. I don't know what he was charging. $26.99. Sounds like a deal. What do you say I come to your office and we do it? Well, funny thing is, my office comes to you. I've got this Japo shitbox Corolla. I'll just park it in your driveway and we'll do this thing inside of 5 minutes. I can't have you do it in my house, Jimmy. Well, you know what? The funny thing about that is we don't have to go in the house. I have a full emergency operating suite in the back.
But listen, you're gonna have to go through my enlargement management team because I need to be making more money. So you're gonna have to call them for a $800 bill on this.
Bro, how is this possible? How is this? I don't even. What do you say about this, you guys? Like, I honestly.
In what scenario would you ever consider doing this, dude?
None. How about none? How about? Yeah, sir. Do you have any criminal convictions? Yep. For what?
Well,
I'd rather not say. We're gonna need you to tell us.
I went to the quote fixer and got caught by the police.
So I was performing illegal penis enlargements in the back of my Corolla in Thailand.
Because it's illegal.
Cops launched an investigation into the doctor. They found an unlicensed guy was promoting penis enlargement, circumcision,
and girth,
and pearl implantation surgeries through social media. On his TikTok page, he did not mention of the patients that they would be going under the knife while stuck in the back of a Toyota Corolla.
Oh.
The local police caught him on October 18th while he was actually in the middle of chopping a dick. Once the cops caught him, they did find 189 different types of pearls, local anesthetics, surgical blades, needles, and other equipment. But even worse, the tools were allegedly used in multiple procedures without being sanitized.
No, dude.
Without being sanitized.
No.
Let the penises.
What is it with STDs this week, dude? Monkeys, now this. Like, what are we doing out here, bro?
Without being sanitized.
And I'll see you in Valhalla.
Sir, he was caught in the mid-procedure peen destroying.
Dude, bro.
And such as, and like, pass. Yes, exactly.
Dude. Direct. I don't know what it would take for me to take that kind of risk, but I'm not sure there is anything that would make me do this.
Dude wants to know, hey, Dana, can you step in here, please?
Yeah, Dana, any advice for us here? Really could use your expertise.
Mike Smith, hey, anybody got his contact information? Asking for a friend, of course.
I never sucked any ding-dongs.
See? James catching strays.
Yeah.
I warned you. Now, here are exclusive pictures of the doctor's car. Alleged doctor. Huh.
You ought to know. You bought it.
Out. You know. Hey, the guy could not afford an autoclave. Exactly right.
I don't even know,
sorry,
bro.
Did you say Frankenweenie?
Yeah, maybe that's my new Twitter handle, Frankenweenie.
Dude, can you imagine a place in your life where your penis is so small that you're like, yeah, I need to.
We may have to go short in a couple cases.
Jimmy, not only do I want one of your penis enlargements there, why don't you go ahead and stud this thing out with some pearls?
We know these guys are going to come a lot.
So let me get this right. Not only were you extending my penis, but you're going to bedazzle it for me.
Honestly, I'd start stroking guys.
Like, what on earth are we doing, dudes?
Dude, what are we doing?
I need to go home.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Get your ass out of the car, dude. Take this show home.
Here's my question. Yes, you read my mind. You read my mind, Jim. So the cops rolled up on you and you were mid-dong.
You were mid-dong.
What happened to the guy's joint?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Was he like, hey, yo, man, I'm over here cutting this guy's junk. Can you guys hang on a minute with that warrant? Let me go ahead and finish this guy off. Like, what do you do? And here's the other question, dong boy. Did you really think you weren't going to get caught for this?
In your car.
And is this why the king of Thailand's moving to Thailand? Because he wants to get his joint extended?
We show up.
What is it with it? Like, they do weird things to genitalia in Thailand.
I don't know. Like, you couldn't even tint the windows on that thing, dude.
Bro.
Like, how brazen are you about this? Do you know what you have to do to get the cops called on your ass in wherever this was? Like, come on, man.
Somebody needs to make it make sense.
Iraq.
I mean, and I will give him credit. It does look like his surgical suite was at least he must have his own personal detailer because it does look like his surgical I will just say his operating room was pretty clean.
Perhaps play a little game called Just a Tip.
Yeah, he's got cloth seats in the back of the Japo shitbox. I am amazed by this story. I'm not. What makes you look at this guy's car and be like, yeah, you can chop my D? You know,
I don't know. Like, bro is in little cargo pants here, like, or shorts. I like, what?
Let's do this thing. What could go wrong? What could go wrong?
I don't. I mean, my answer to this is the Garrett Cole answer, dude. I don't even know what to say. Like, I don't know. Like, what?
I don't know if.
Oh my God!
I don't know quite.
Oh my God! And then this picture. What have I always said about dude that wears a chain wallet?
Oh God!
I have what? Right? Have I not warned you guys on this?
No regrets.
I have told you that if you get into business with a dude wearing a chain wallet, you did this to yourself. Because guys that wear chain wallets, it never ends well, bro. Like, it never ends well. Let me get this comment off the screen. What's he got in his back pocket there, buddy, with the gloves on? That's a chain wallet. That's a chain wallet. The dude that's chopping D's is rocking a chain wallet. He's taking your foreskin to buy chain wallets.
Some shit happened.
You went to chain wallet guy in the back of his Corolla. And
the windows are tinted.
Yes, they are tinted. Yes, I know.
Y'all feel me?
And yet you still thought, penis surgery in the back of a Corolla in Thailand?
Bro, okay, hold on. Okay, comment section. Roche's comment right here.
Who says no? When I was an addict, I had to get dental work from a guy with a dental chair in his kitchen. An American fork.
Bro.
Roche. Dude. Sepsis is real, my guy.
And as you can see, I'm going through some shit right now.
Did he have better hygiene than this? Right. Look how crusty the handles. Bro, is that an H spoon right there?
Looks like it.
What do we do?
I just couldn't believe this, dude.
Topped only by when I was an addict, I got dental work in some dude's kitchen.
I don't even know, bro.
And of all places, American Fark. Oh my God. You're lucky you're alive. Yeah, this is the medical equivalent of dudes pretending to be cops.
Low overhead. Yeah, I didn't have to. I can't afford an office space, sir. What are you doing in the back of your car?
Let me tell you what now.
Chopping dicks because I can't afford an office space.
Yeah, what? There wasn't a basement available to you?
Oh my! It was affordable and relieve the pain. Did he give you? What were you like? What did he give you for pain meds?
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Good Lord. I'm not, nah, bruh. I'm not doing this. I am not. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. No, I'm fine. No.
Go ahead and head out. I'm going to pass on this opportunity.
I'm going to keep these 2 inches of power right here, dude.
Imagine you have 2 inches. Are you willing to risk 1 in the enlargement procedure?
Do you understand that more can go wrong than will probably go right?
Yes.
You're going to get an infection. I know. Now, again, your guy over here wears a size 15 shoe. I'm not really looking for an enlargement surgery.
How many inches are you looking to add from Buddy and his Corolla? I mean, if you're taking this much risk, aren't you trying to hit a home run? Aren't you just trying to go full send? I don't know.
No, what's the number that you need an enlargement? I mean, because pretty much, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know, bro.
Greg wants to know, how was the quality of dental work? Roche. Can you guys imagine? You're an addict. You have a broken tooth. You need an extraction. You can't afford to go to the dentist. You're like, well, Tommy and the American Fork. From what I understand, he does boil the equipment. He can pull that shit right out. He's got a circular saw. What are those little? Oh, yeah, Tommy and American Fork. From what I understand, he really keeps his Dremel tool clean,
dude.
Hey, look here, man.
Oh my God. I had an infection. He fucking pulled a tooth.
It gets better. Read the rest of the comment. It gets better.
To a home dentist for a root canal. He said he'd do a root canal. I said, just pull that thing. God,
you were willing to go under anesthesia in a dude's kitchen. Nah, I don't think so, bro. I'm good.
What's the Tom Hanks movie on the island where he knocks that shit out with a figure skating? Lost? What the Tom?
No.
Stranded? FedEx, Tom Hanks caught on the island and he had a toothache. You guys remember? Oh my God. Oh my God, Roche.
Castaway,
yeah. I'll never. No, I will never be okay with this, Roche. I will never, ever get over this comment right here.
My fucking ass.
How did it go? You can't. Did he have like needles and stuff? Did he use a Dremel tool? Bro. God, Greg Hawkins, why did you make me ask that question? Oh my God. No, I can't put my finger on it, but the fact that he had anesthesia doesn't surprise me at all.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I mean, this is like Dahmer status.
Oh my God. Stop. Hey, Marty, why don't you swing by the shop? I'll take care of that toothache for you.
Here's the deal. I'm the best there is.
Preston, the greatest auto mechanic. Listen, if you're one of our Salt Lake dudes and you need a mechanic, Preston's your guy. He's not your dentist. Don't do it with the dentist. Look, dude, I'm a body expert. I've got this cleaver and a hammer. I can take that tooth. I can pull a tooth.
You're so fucked.
He had it all. Was this guy like a non-licensed dentist? Was he like a former dentist? Oh, God, that's even worse. Well, I'm not allowed to practice officially as a dentist.
You
but
want to
I
explain that?
I can. His clients were almost exclusively illegal.
Brother, what are you doing?
Well, he was an addict.
I know, but Jesus.
Oh. Fixed the tooth up, cut, came up missing a kid. Yeah, well, you know,
Brother.
he took the tooth out. I woke up and all of a sudden I didn't have a kidney. Ooh.
Okay.
Would you ever consider it?
No.
Oh my God, bro! I don't even know. How do you get there? Yeah, what did he charge? Great question. If it's under 200, I might want some contact. Greg, you're a Philippines guy. They do weird things with penises over there. Like this story, the story we're talking about where Roche took us to a house in American Fork to get a root canal is that a guy was doing penis enlargement and penis bedazzling in Thailand in the back of a Toyota Corolla, and dudes were saying yes to the point where the cops busted him mid-dong restructure guy thing.
Macaque.
I don't even know. The answer is no. The answer is hell no.
Hiscock.
I'd rather eat at Five Guys. Exactly. What qualifies you to do this root canal? Well, I am a third semester dental student.
It is what it is.
Oh my God. I would pull my kid's baby teeth. Oh. I cannot tell you how many nights in my life I've had nightmares about my teeth falling out.
We all do.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, that's a known dream that humans have. The teeth pulling dream, the teeth falling out dream.
In a Corolla? Not bad. Could have been a Yugo, bro. Corolla better than a Civic. Truer words. Exactly. Well, and listen, I'm going to do your peen in the back of a Civic. Nah, I'm fine. Well, my brother's got a Corolla he can lend me. Okay, great. Let's do it.
Listen, if you would prefer, I mean, I got a cousin who's got a Highlander. I mean, that, if that's more spacious for you.
What is this life we lead, you guys? That we're like getting our peens chopped in the back of a Corolla. And Greg's like, in a Corolla. Yeah, not bad. All right. And finally, Jake started Zepbound today. Last night.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to do your shot every Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about this?
I mean, fine. I mean, it's been fine so far. I think, yeah, I was a little nervous about just about like side effects and stuff, but apparently that's unfounded and things of that nature. So it's been fine so far. Haven't had any issues. So haven't been hungry, not surprisingly.
So you said to me before the show, yeah, I haven't crapped myself either. Like, are you anticipating the worst here, or like where are you?
I just am. I don't know. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, when's the last time you took a drug of any kind or injected yourself? I mean, it's a foreign experience. It's not something that I do regularly. Like, it's different.
My guy Jimmy wants to know, Monty, why are you talking about penises and you act like you got size? Shut up and just admit it.
Sucking a ding dong.
It's awesome that my friends listen to this show and then text me and are like, dude, you're not hung. Shut up.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
This is the life that I live. This is the exact life that I live. I hope that you guys know. So are you anticipating problems? Like, I have had you were here for a week with me. Like I had a little food poisoning the week you were here. But other than that, like, I have had no problems. I think in my experience, and I know close to 10 people who are on Zepbound. And it's always the people who don't eat well. It's always the people who eat fast food, who don't drink water. If you're on Zepbound and you're drinking soda, you're doing it wrong. If you're on Zepbound and you're not working out, you're not walking, lifting weights, you're doing it wrong. If you're on Zepbound and you're not drinking 80 ounces of water a day, you're doing it wrong. If you're on Zepbound and you're drinking alcohol, you're doing it wrong. I'm telling you, it's just we're on Zepbound as a race or as humans because we need to lose weight and be in better health. Now, there are some of us that are taking Zepbound to lose those nagging 3 pounds. But most of us need to lose, I'd like to lose 50 pounds. And I'm not going to be eating sugar. I don't eat sugar. I'll occasionally, we had a candy bar when you were here. Right? I don't know. Are you anticipating you're going to have problems?
I'm not sitting here like, oh man, I'm just gonna have all kinds of problems and this is gonna be terrible. I'm certainly not saying that. But it just was a weird experience for me. It was an unexpected, weird experience for me, to doing the shot and just going through it was just an odd thing. I don't know why. It just was,
Well, that's noticeable.
And it's been, again, like I said, it's been fine. I've been cognizant about water today. I'm working hard not to have caffeine past 3:30, and to eat, reasonably. But no, I'm not sitting here expecting the worst. But yeah, I was just like, oh man, I've never had this in my body before. Or what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Yeah. It was legitimately weird for me. When I ordered it and watching everyone else, it's not like I had those thoughts when I was watching everyone else do it. I just went to do it and I was like, well, I absolutely want to do this and I think it'll work for me. No problem. But it really was kind of just an oddball 10 minutes of weirdness about it for whatever reason,
I'm telling you, if you eat well, you will have no problems.
Yeah.
You will have no problems at all. And I think it's a remarkable advent. I specifically believe that Zepbound and the technology and science in Zepbound makes it spectacular. By the way, Roche said he paid that dentist $55.
Hey, man.
Good Lord.
I'm glad you made it through it.
But I think it's incredibly important that you get your protein and you get your. There's another new study about all ages benefiting from creatine. And it's incredible. They did a huge study on the impact that students get from creatine. And that students specifically who are sleep deprived, and they've done this sleep deprived study from now adolescents all the way up to elderly people. When you are sleep deprived, if you take between 5 and 8 grams of creatine, you will get a lift from it. You will get a lift from it. And when you take a minimum of 5, and you probably should, and consult your doctor, but you probably should be 8 to 10 grams of creatine every day, your brain is noticeably healthier than those who do not. It is, I'm telling you guys, you've got to be taking creatine. And it's why I have the deal that I have with Bucked Up. From their pre-workouts, Bucked Up Creatine Monohydrate, use promo code Monty, get 20% off at buckedup.com. You've got to be taking creatine. I think it is just, and most people look at creatine as, well, we only take creatine because we're working out and we're playing football. No. Well, do you guys know what the number one injury, death rate, life-shortening incident for 65 and older people is? What would you guess that is, Jake?
Mental fortitude.
How about falls? And do you guys know that new science out? Do you guys know what the number one factor in whether an older person falls or not is? And would you be surprised to know that it is the strength of your toes? Does that surprise you that toe strength determines your risk factor for falling, according to a new study?
No, it's part of your feet.
Think about that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't think about it at all.
Toe strength and dexterity in your ankles.
Yeah.
Is what they're saying is the number one determining factor of your risk of being a fall candidate. Yeah, it is absolutely falling down. I could use something to help me sleep. You know what can help you sleep? Go to bed hungry. You want to sleep like you've never slept before? And I'm not even kidding you, Mike. Start taking creatine every day and go to bed hungry. Not starving, but stop eating 4 hours before you go to bed. Eat your dinner. I would say, and I don't know what time you go to bed. For me, I will not eat another meal today. I'll have yogurt and blueberries with creatine in it at about 7 o'clock. And I go to bed about 9:30. I will not eat after that. You go to bed a little hungry, and trust me when I tell you, it'll change your life. There endeth the lesson. The Monty Show presented by our good friends at The Advocates. Big day on the show tomorrow. Make sure you are here. Big day on the show tomorrow. Get to theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. Until tomorrow, don't shoot yourself, Jake. Say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.